Hare Krishna. Technical setups. Yeah, so I welcome all of you to please consider to come to our small group here. We're very grateful. We're honored to have all of you. Krishna is very happy today. He's looking happy in the altar. Yes, he's seeing all of you, so he's very happy. Radha Krishna is very happy. So we will begin with our Om Ajnantimirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurum Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Tadadi Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Shri Guru Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajata Sagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Satvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Pada Sagana Lalita Shri Vishakhamritamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dina Bandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhobhya Evacha Patitanam Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasani Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Please repeat after me. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
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 Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudhiraye Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nanda Gopa Kumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha Namah Pankajanabhaya Namah Pankajamaline Namah Pankajanetraya Namaste Pankajangre Namo Mahabadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namine Gauratvishe Namaha Namo Brahmanyaya Devaya Gau Brahmana Hitaya Cha Jagaditaya Krishnaya Govindaya Namo Namaha Nama Om Vishnupadaya
Nama Om Vishnupadaya
Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale
Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale
Srimate Bhakti Vedanta
Srimate Bhakti Vedanta
Swami Niti Namine
Swami Nityanamine
Namaste Saraswat Deve
Namaste Saraswati Deve
Gauravani Pracharine
Gauravani Prasarine
Nirvishesha Shunyavadi
Nirvishesha Shunyavadi
Pasyatya Deshatarine
Paschatya Deshatarine
Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya
Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya
Prabhu Nityananda
Prabhu Nityananda
Shri Advaita Gadadhara
Shri Advaita Gadadhara
Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda
Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta
Hare Krishna Hare Krishna
Hare Krishna Hare Krishna
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare
Hare Rama Hare Rama
Hare Rama Hare Rama
Rama Rama Hare Hare
Rama Rama Hare Hare
Karoti Vachalam Pangam Langati Girimithipatamo Vande Shri Guru Dinakaranam Shri Paramananda Madhavam Shri Chaitanya Ishwaram Om Pavitro Pavitro Va Sarvavastham Gatopi Va Yat Smaret Pundarikaksha Sabhyabhyantam Suche Shri Vishnu Shri Vishnu Shri Vishnu Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Am I audible to the back? Yeah. Hare Krishna. Once again, thank you all for coming. It's really a pleasure and honor that all of you have come to our home, because this home is meant for serving Krishna. Actually, every home is meant for serving Krishna. That's what we do in Gro Pravesh. When we do Gro Pravesh, we say, this house is yours. Right? Use it in your service. That is the purpose of having a home. Everybody decorates home. The home is decorated. In Manu Samhita, it is explained, everybody decorates home. You know, there is a scripture called Manu Samhita, which talks about how to lead a life as a human being. So everybody decorates home. And why do people decorate home? Can anyone tell why do people decorate home? So guests can come, right? Guests can come home and they can appreciate. They'll feel comfortable. They'll feel honored. They'll feel nice, isn't it? Everybody decorates home. And it's a good thing to decorate home. We should do our best to decorate our home. Because if you decorate your home and not call guests and not call sadhus, then Manu Samhita says that home is like a snake hole. Right? A snake also decorates its home. But what happens when you keep your hand inside? Immediately bite, isn't it? The home is supposed to be, his home is meant to call guests, meant to call sadhus, meant to call devotees, meant to call everyone and serve them. Manu Samhita also says, Hare Krishna, please come. You can come inside too, you can come to the front here. यहाँ पे आइए, आगे आइए. थोड़ा आगे आ जाइए. Yeah. So, Prabhuji, come here. You can come in the front. Child will also have space to play a little. So, what was I saying? Manu Samhita also says how a householder should live a life. It is explained that it is explained. Yeah. Or you want to sit back then? That's fine. Sorry, Prabhuji. Yeah, no problem. No disturbance. This is a family program, and children have to make noise. Yes. So Manu Samhita also says that a householder should take care of everyone in the house, and it says that the elders in the house should be given the first preference when it comes to prasadam. Then Mataji should be given with children, and then children, and then at the end, when everybody in the house has eaten, then the householder should go outside the door and he should shout, "Is anybody hungry?" Right? And if nobody responds, then he can come and have the food. Now, this is the standard of our Sanatan Dharma culture. I'm not talking about some whimsical situation. This is how people used to live, and this is how the society was. Right? The community means a community where we serve each other. where we care for each other, where we spread God awareness, where we become better people, isn't it? Community means we should come together and become better people. That is the purpose of being in a community. And I'm very grateful that this community here is helping me and my wife serve Radha and Krishna. You are giving us an opportunity to serve all of you. Thank you. So we finished 3 topics so far in the 12 session series. First topic was about in search of happiness, right? If you all remember. And we talked about the main 4 problems of life, Janma, Mrityu, Jara, Vyadhi. And we also talked about Adhyatmika, Adi Daivika, Adi Bhautika. Problems caused by our own mind, problems caused by other people, other living entities, and problems caused by material nature, right? Right now there is a problem by material nature. You can see it's raining, it's drizzling, it's windy, so difficult to stay outside. Then we talked about how human being is trying to solve these problems through scientific techniques, but he's not able to solve. The more he's trying to solve, the more complicated he's making his life, right? How can you solve the problem of death? How can you solve the problem of birth? How can you solve the problem of disease? Yes, disease we are trying to solve, but with one disease, 10 other diseases are coming. We're trying to solve that disease, another 10 diseases are taking birth, isn't it? So we can see that happening. And then in the second session, we talked about who is this person? Does he even exist? Who has actually created all these problems? Isn't it? Who is that person? That person is Krishna. We'll know that. So Krishna is a troublemaker. He's the one who's creating all these problems, isn't it? The person who created death, birth, old age, disease. So does God even exist? That was the second topic. And we went in detail scientifically proving how to understand that God actually exists. How do you prove? Right? In terms of urge and fulfillment. Every urge has a fulfillment. We went through in detail how to prove that God exists. And then once we understood that God exists, then we went into the topic of why should we believe in scriptures? What is a scripture, first of all? And who has written scriptures? And why should I even believe in that scriptures? Is there a proof that what is written in scriptures is true? Right? And how do I prove that what God has given as scripture is the same scripture that I'm reading today? Or people have manipulated it? How do I know? How do I know that people have manipulated it or is the original scripture? Right? And then we discussed about why there are so many scriptures. Why not simply give me one page? That's enough. No? Why do you have to give me so many books? You can see that bookshelf, or outside. So many books are there. Do I need these many books? And why there are so many religions? Why there are so many paths? Why there are so many, etc., etc. We discussed about that. If you have not attended the previous session, please go back and hear. I don't want to repeat that. Then the time for this session will decrease. Now the fourth session in the logical sequence is about what is this thing called modes of material nature. What is this thing? We hear about goodness, people who are good, people who are passionate, people who are ignorant, or fools, you can say, who will never agree to whatever you say, right? Why are people like this? Are people really bad or something is making them bad? Are people that really good or something is making them good, right? Why is this world filled with different kinds of people? Everybody should have this question, right? If you have 2 roommates, I'm sure there is some issue going on between 2 of them, right? Why is it like that? Why? Srinivas, please come and say. Leave some way for others to come there. If you all can, there is a lot of space here in the front if you want to come. Yeah. So, why people are different? The fundamental question is why people are even different. Why we are all not born in the same way, right? Everybody understands, everybody speaks, everybody articulates, everybody interprets. Everything is same. Isn't it a wonderful world like that? You want it to be like that? No, na. Jhada hona chahiye. Thoda bahut to hona chahiye. Khich to hona chahiye. Wife and husband, we keep saying, do they quarrel? Don't they quarrel? Once there was one wife and husband, they were celebrating their 50th marriage anniversary. And the amazing part of that wife and husband is they never quarreled. They never quarreled. So they were telling everybody, we never quarreled in 50 years. So everybody, whole half city came to know, how can such a thing happen? How can two people not quarrel, right? So all their friends and relatives, everybody came. Really? You never quarreled? Husband is like, I never quarreled. Wife is like, I never quarreled. So, really? You never shouted at each other? Nothing happened? Then all of them went to the wife. They asked, how come you never quarreled? She said, you can ask my husband. He never quarrels. So because he never quarrels, I also never quarrel. So they went to the husband and they asked, how come you never quarrel? What is the secret behind you? Even we want to implement in our life. How many you want to implement? Yeah, you want to implement? Or you like quarreling? Every Sunday, at least half an hour. So the husband told, I'll tell you the secret. I never told the secret to anyone. After 50 years, I'm revealing that secret. So what is that secret? He said, see, when we got married, we went to a place called Kulu Manali. How many here know Kulu Manali? Yeah, it's up in Himachal. If you go to the top, before Rohtang Pass, you get that Kulu Manali. So there are some places where you have to go on trekking, and to go on trekking, you have to ride on a horse. You can't walk by yourself. There are horses. You go there, they'll give you a horse. You have to get on that. A horse will take you, right? So me and my wife went to Kulu Manali, and we both were made to sit on the horse. As soon as my wife sat on the horse went, it went up like this, she fell down. And immediately she got up, she told the horse, first warning I'm giving you. Don't you put me down like that, she told. I was thinking, you're speaking to a horse? What will the horse understand? They're newly married, just sit down, don't worry, hold the horse nicely and she'll be okay. Then again, my wife sat down and again the horse, it went up, she fell down again. She got down and she told, second warning, don't you ever do like that, she told the horse. I was wondering, what is this going on? Whom did I marry? And then I told, see, don't do all that. Just hold it tight and relax. The horse will take you. And third time my wife sat again. Again the horse went, again she fell down. This time she opened her purse, removed a revolver, she shot at her horse. I was shocked. Then I told, hey, what did you do? You can't kill horses like that. How come you have a revolver? What did you do? She told me, first warning. Since then, I never asked the next question. We have been living peacefully because second warning is very delicate. Right? So it is not possible to not have conflicts. It is not possible to not have differences between people unless there is some mechanism of first and second warning and a revolver. Isn't it? Yeah, that's okay. Yeah. So modes of material nature explain why people are different, right? Why you are different, I am different. And it also explains how we can become a better person. While we go through these slides, what I want all of you to do is you analyze what you are. Don't analyze who your neighbor is. That's not the goal of this session. The goal is to self-introspect, self-realization. Where do I fit? What mode am I in? Right? Now, Krishna speaks elaboratively about this modes of material nature in Bhagavad Gita. In 14th chapter, 5th shloka, Krishna says, material nature consists of three modes. There he's saying, right? I'm just reading the translation. Material nature consists of three modes. Material nature means what? Prakriti. Prakriti is run by whom? Durga. We'll be very specific now. Because in India, everything is God, God, God. Who runs what? We need to know. So Durga runs. Maya Dakshena Prakriti Suyate Sacharacharam Hetunanena Kauntaya Jagad Viparivartate. Krishna says. According to my order, Prakriti functions. Prakriti here is Durga. Right? She functions. So Durga, in order to maintain this world, Mata Durga, she maintains this world. She maintains this world through ropes. She has ropes. Like, have you seen a puppet show anytime? There'll be a rope here, there'll be a rope here. If you lift this rope, this hand will go like that. Exactly like that. We all are tied with ropes, but we can't see the ropes. They're invisible ropes. We can't see the ropes. The whole material world is tied with ropes. And these ropes are nothing but the modes of material nature. Goodness, passion, ignorance. These are the three modes. Sattva-guna, Rajoguna, Tamoguna. Right? You would have heard this many. Taking birth in India, at least this much you will hear. Sattvic food you will hear. There is nothing but Sattva-guna food, Sattvic food. Rajasic food, we don't hear that much, but there's something like that. And Tamasic food also is there. So when the eternal living entity comes into contact with the nature, oh mighty armed Arjuna, he becomes conditioned by these modes. See, we all have desires. We all have desires. Everybody has desires, isn't it? Where are these desires stored? Do you have a thumb drive, pen drive in which you are storing your desires? Where are you storing your desires? In your mind. In your mind, you're storing it. Sometimes you forget that desire, but the mind will remind you, hey, you had the desire, right? It will remind you like that, isn't it? So according to our desires, we make our choices. Is that true? According to our desire, we make that choice. Who is giving the choices in front of us? Durga. She brings the choice in goodness. She brings the choice in passion. She brings the choice in ignorance. And according to our desire, we exercise that choice. For example, you all have come here today in the morning, right? I'm sure you would have got up at least at 6. Or with children, small children, would have got up at 5, I don't know, to make everything ready and come here, right? So you had a choice. You have a desire. What is the desire? You want to come and attend satsang. Sunday morning, you want to start in a very auspicious, in a very nice, conscious way, isn't it? So you made a choice. There is somebody else who has made a choice that he will sleep. He wants to enjoy his body. Sunday morning means sleep till 10 o'clock. That is another choice, right? Nothing wrong with it. It's his choice, right? And there is somebody else who will make sure that nobody is sleeping. He'll create disturbance, He'll keep a big loudspeaker and he'll create a big mess for people, right? That is tamasic choice, So sattvic choices, I want to have good consciousness. Rajasic choices, I want to enjoy. So I want to sleep. Tamasic choices, I will not enjoy, I will not have anybody to enjoy. Mode of ignorance, right? So everybody has those desires. According to that, the choices are given. We all had a choice to sleep also. We all had a choice to disturb other also. We all had a choice to come here also. What did you exercise? You exercise the choice of coming here. Do all the 3 choices exist? All the 3 exist. Isn't it like a radio station? You tune to nice, bhajans, or you tune to some rock songs, or you tune to some really ignorant, filthy language songs, right? Now it's in your hands which channel you want to tune to. All the 3 channels are there in the air. In the same way, Durga, Mother Durga, she is giving all the choices to us in front of us. According to our desire, we will choose that choice. Making sense? Yeah. So the 3 modes of material nature are nothing but the choices which come in front of us. And an intelligent person will make the right choice, which is good for his health, which is good for his family, which is good for his consciousness. He'll make that choice. A non-intelligent person will make a choice which will damage his health, damage his family's health, damage others' health also. Right? Are you following so far? Yeah. We'll go in detail, a lot in detail. All these 3 modes of material nature can be seen in our life, in day-to-day life. We'll see how in day-to-day life, Krishna goes very much in detail in Bhagavad Gita. He goes very detailed in Bhagavad Gita, telling how we are making choices where. How do you distinguish people in the mode of ignorance, people in the mode of passion, people in the mode of goodness? How can you distinguish them, right? Here in 14.17, Krishna says, from the mode of goodness, real knowledge develops. From the mode of passion, greed develops. From the mode of ignorance, develops foolishness, madness, and illusion. Right? Actually, from chapter number 12 and afterwards, Krishna starts speaking about different kinds of people. And there you would see more than 40% of Bhagavad Gita is about these 3 gunas. Krishna explains. So actually, we will be finishing indirectly 40% of Bhagavad Gita today while we finish this session. Because Krishna is going to speak a lot of times who is the person in the mode of goodness, passion, and ignorance. Now, there is something above these 3 also. That is called Shuddha Sattva, which is Bhakti. Right? Now, I am coming here. So we talked about this example right now. So I am going to disturb everybody around. What is that choice? What kind of guna is that? Tamasic guna, mode of ignorance. I am going to sleep peacefully because I like sleeping. What is that guna? Rajasic guna, right? I want to just enjoy, sense enjoyment. I will come to satsang and attend because I like to attend. It's very nice and peaceful. What is that guna? Sattva guna, mode of goodness. And higher than that is Shuddha Sattva, which is Bhakti, which means what? I am coming here to satisfy God. Whether or not I like this, whether or not it's comfortable for me, whether or not I'm feeling peaceful. I'm coming here, Krishna, because you like me to come to satsang. I'm coming to temple because Krishna, you like me to come to temple. Whether or not I like to going to temple. You know what I'm saying? It's unconditionally performing things for the satisfaction of God. That is Shuddha Sattva. That is the highest, right? Yeah. So now in this table, it's almost like an office exercise here that I'm going to do now. Yeah. So we'll go one by one, general characteristics. How people have general characteristics in mode of ignorance, mode of passion, mode of goodness, and Shuddha Sattva. What are the general characteristics? People in mode of ignorance, Tamaguna, they're foolish, madness, illusion, indolence, and sleep. They're all the time sleeping. Given a chance, immediate power nap. They like to sleep. If you tell, okay, holidays, what are you going to do? Sleep. Right? That is the natural choice by a person in mode of ignorance. Not when you're tired. When you're tired, you sleep. It's a different thing. But their natural preference choice itself is to sleep. Right? And they indulge a lot in things which are not needed also. And they always choose to be an illusion. Meaning, मैं जो सोच रहा हूँ वही सही है. Illusion. They like to be in their illusion. They don't want to come out of it. If you tell them you can learn something more, you can understand. No. I like to. I know what I'm doing. I know what I am. Right? That tendency is too much there in them, and they're foolish. Obviously, fools means whom do you call a fool? Even when you tell something for his good, he'll argue that it is for his bad. Exactly opposite. Have you seen anybody like that? Yeah. I'm sitting here. My wife will tell. Anyway, so mode of passion, unlimited, uncontrollable desires. They are like, I want this, I want this, I want this. All the time. Shopping. Choosing. Right? What is the best website to go to? Amazon.com. Unlimited desires, right? And longing, intense endeavor. They work like dogs and pigs and donkeys. There is no meaning to their life. Morning till night, they'll be sitting in the office only. And even after coming to home, they'll work on office only. Why you are living, they don't know. They'll work intense endeavor. Right? A donkey also works. How does a donkey work? It works. Then what does it get to eat? Grass. Grass is everywhere. But still, it will work under somebody for that grass. That is why it is called a donkey. People say, work like a donkey. It's a slogan. And bondage to material activities. They are very, very attached to material activities. I need to get good appraisal. I need to grow. I need to be competitive. I need to earn the most. I should have the biggest car. I should have the biggest this, biggest. They always are behind material things, right? And attached to fruits of action. They want to enjoy whatever they do. They want to get the outcome very clearly. I do that. I should get this, right? I'm doing this. What is the outcome? मेरे को क्या मिलेगा इसमें? Then only I'll do. I'll not do it for anybody else. I want to get the result to enjoy. Fruits of action. You do an action, then you get a result of action. They are very particular about results of action. Like if I'm working hard, I need to get a good increment. If I don't get increment, I'll leave the job. Simple. I am working for that increment. I'm not saying don't be competitive. We have to be competitive, but there are some things that are not in our hands. Do your job good, be sincere, maintain the integrity, you will get your result. You should be having some faith on your superiors. Take care of it. That is a different topic. But people in the mode of passion are very, very particular about results. Right? People in the mode of goodness. Relative purity, illumination, happiness and freedom from sinful reactions conducive to real knowledge. The moment somebody speaks knowledge, they become curious. Yes, I want to know more. Right? They want to remain free from sinful reactions. Meaning, if you say, sir, this is not good for you, they'll immediately say, oh, it is not good for me, I'll not do it. Simple. Say, for example, somebody is smoking. You go and tell, sir, it's not good for you. You know that it's not good for you. They'll immediately say, can you help me get out of this habit? First of all, they're not good at smoking. For any reason they've gone also, they will want to come out of it. They'll keep trying to come out of it. They want good knowledge. You're following what I'm saying? People in the mode of goodness, they are generally happy also. Satisfied, happy people. Even if something goes wrong, they are still happy. Okay, chalta hai. Like, flat mein current chala gaya. For example, current is gone. They'll not create a big hue and cry. 20 minutes also they're happy. Then it comes, let's sit in the balcony. Right? But people in the mode of passion, what they'll do? Immediately they'll call the maintenance office. Mere flat mein current kaise nahi hai? Right? People in the mode of ignorance, what they'll do? They'll go and remove current of others. Na mere ghar mein current hai, tere ghar mein current hai. Hai ki nahi? So ignorance is tamoguna. Tamoguna means like that. They cannot be normal. They'll create disturbance. If you want to do some good activity in the community, mode of goodness, people will come and tell, Prabhuji, how can I also serve? Can I do my part? Can I contribute some money? Can I do something? Right? They'll come forward. People in the mode of passion, mere ko kya milega? You are doing good activity, mere ko kya milega? Right? People in the mode of ignorance, this secular community, you should not do anything. Right? Immediately, free है ना वो राग लिखना no telegram में एक message डाल दिया खत्म उसके बाद they'll create a mess, all this nonsense, arguments, all that they'll do. Will they come to that place? After doing all that, will they come to that place? They'll not come. But they like to create disturbance. It's mentioned in Bhagavad Gita about these people. In the first chapter itself, Krishna speaks about these people. We'll discuss that when we go to first chapter, okay? When we go in detail. Shuddha Sattva goes one level high. It's complete, unmotivated, unfailing devotion to Supreme Personality of Godhead, absolute knowledge, purity, illumination, happiness, freedom from sinful reactions. So everything that you have in goodness plus bhakti towards God. They will make sure that everything is related to God. Every activity that they do is related to God. They'll make sure that. They'll never plan anything without keeping God in the picture. Like we have a bigger satsang, in the evening, Sunday evenings we have. So bigger group like this, they start take groups like this, and then we are all like rivers, and then we join the ocean. So a bigger ocean there. 5-6 years we have been cultivating families. We have close to 100-150 now, right? So we all meet, Mata, right? Yeah. So their preference now is how do I remain in Hyderabad no matter what happens? Because this community is very good. You know what I mean? So if employer will tell, can you go to Switzerland? There is a project, sir, only 3 months I want to go. And my family will be, I don't want to relocate. Nobody will get an increment. I think I'm happy with what I have. Or let's do it in a different way. So their consciousness is always God-centric. Their activities are all God-centric. Like there is one very nice family, their name is Sri Gopal Prabhu and Poonam Mataji. They have 2 children, Agarwals. So they live in high-tech city. So they had a house, little smaller than this, and in that we used to fit like 150 people. In this hall, can you imagine how many were sitting at once in this hall? Can you guess a number? When we did Grow Pravesham and we had satsang here, almost 180 people were sitting in this hall, in this very hall. Right? But that is satsang, and the hall expands actually. When you do God conscious activities, Krishna expands the hall also. We never have problem with space, because when you have space here, there is space everywhere, isn't it? Yeah. So this couple recently they took a flat. They said, Prabhu, we want to take a bigger flat. We want to have bigger satsang, because now we are feeling that people are getting too cramped. Then they invited me to see the flat. I went and said the flat is so small. Actually, the flat is small, And they said, Prabhuji, but you said you want to do, and why are you shifting to a smaller flat? Prabhu, you don't know. We are getting a big hall below. We are getting a 4,000 square feet hall for free. And we can do satsangs there. That is the reason we chose this flat. I was like amazed. Their choice of choosing the flat had nothing to do with the flat. It was all about getting the free hall. Can you imagine the consciousness of the couple? Right? And I think on the end of this month, we are having a satsang in the hall. Right? But their hearts are so big. So God conscious people, they will make any decision in life keeping God in the center. They'll have children in their life, keeping God in the center. I want to have God-conscious children. Right? We have something called Garbhadana Sanskar, that is done before even the children are born. It is part of our Sanatan Dharma, culture for thousands of years. Is what a male and a female, before they associate to procreate children, they chant God's names. They chant like 64 rounds sitting down. 64. We did one round. They do 64 rounds. 8-9 hours they chant. And then they procreate. And because the consciousness is, please send us a great devotee into our home. Please send a great soul into our home. Right? With that consciousness, when they procreate, there is no lust. There is only pure love. And then the child who comes into their womb is an amazing devotee. And we see such devotees in our family, in our satsang now, where people have done that Garbhadana Sanskar. And even if you have not done, children who have come, to this planet, now if you bring them to satsangs, they'll become great souls over a period of time. You will not know what they're hearing. Huh? They are hearing everything, they're understanding everything. So people who are God conscious, they will plan their entire life around God. That is called Shuddha Sattva. That is a general characteristic. Are you all following so far? Yeah. So this is mentioned in the verse. Now, worker, perspective of work. How do people in these three modes work, and how do the person in the Shuddha Sattva work? Krishna explains that people in the Tamoguna, they disregard scriptural injunctions. They're very materialistic, obstinate, cheating, lazy, morose, procrastinating, and expert in insulting others. Right? He says, people in Tamoguna, when you work with them, they will create a hell for you. They'll speak such sarcastic statements that you want to resign and go. You don't want to work with them. They're expert in insulting others. How to insult means they're experts. Right? And they're always procrastinating, meaning they'll always postpone things. Important things, they keep just sitting on it. Unimportant things will be under priority. Right? And they're cheating also. They also cheat. Whatever they tell, they don't mean. Obstinate, materialistic, and disregard scriptural injunction. Meaning, if you say that scriptures say like this, they'll tell, I will do exactly opposite to that. I will prove that is good only. Right? You go and tell somebody, sir, don't drink and drive. Now I will drink full bottle and I'll drive and show. What can you tell such a person? Right? He said, it's not good for you to drink. He'll tell that it is, I will drink and show how to drive now. So better don't tell them any suggestion. Right? Such characters will be there. So mode of passion. Attachment to fruits of the work and intent of enjoying them, greedy, envious and unclean, entangled by happiness when successful and distress when unsuccessful, heedless of whether his work is pure or impure. They don't care actually what is the work they are doing. At the end of the day, they want result. I will work throughout the night. I want high salary. They don't care. What is happening to your health? Is it good or bad? I don't care. I'll work in US shift. I want dollars. They will kill their body, but what matters is money. They don't know what is good for them, what is bad for them. All that matters is what? Paisa, right? They are very greedy, envious of others. And another thing, it's told here, they're entangled to distress when they are unsuccessful. When they're successful, too much happiness also. They get some success in life, they'll give a big party. Entire community has to come. They'll make everybody drink and big party they'll have. And small unsuccessful thing will happen, they'll go into depression. Psychological problems. You know what I'm saying? Extreme ends. They don't know how to manage happiness. They don't know how to manage distress. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Matra sparshasya konteya sitoshna sukha dukkada agama apayana nityastam sutikshav bharata. We will learn this verse when we go to second chapter. He says, a person, dhira, perfect person means a person who can see summer and see winter. And for him, he doesn't complain too much when it is summer. He doesn't complain too much when it's winter, whether it is heat or cold. He doesn't complain. He just tries to tolerate them. Exactly like the way he tolerates happiness also, distress also. He considers them as same. They're ongoing activities. Does it mean that when some success comes, you should not celebrate? You should celebrate, but you should also know this success is also temporary. Just a matter of time. Again, distress will also come. Again, success will also come. This is part of life. Okay, Hindi song, you know? Kabhi khushi, kabhi gum. Tararam pam pam. Kabhi aise geet gaya karo, right? Kabhi khushi, there will be happiness, there will be gum also. There will be a fight also, there will be a nice, time also. That it keeps going on. You don't have to hold it on. But people in mode of passion, they hold it on. They hold it on for days and weeks, right? Extreme ends, because they're very, very attached, very attached to their work and results. Sattva-guna people, free from material attachments, pride and false ego, enthusiastic, resolute, and unswayed by success or failure. They're enthusiastic even though there is success or failure. They will never lose the enthusiasm, meaning they'll not stop doing things. Prabhuji, abhi nahi hoga mere se. You know, like I fail, I will never study again. You know, I failed already. Nahi hoga mere se. But that is mode of passion. But mode of goodness, they'll keep trying. They'll keep trying until they succeed, and they will never be bothered by whether it's a failure or a success. They'll keep trying until they get it. Right? You will see people like this in your life, and they are not very proud of what they are. They like to be humble because they know that everything that I have is also temporary. Everything I have is also temporary, right? Like when we recently, all of us have encountered a pandemic in our life. It doesn't happen to everybody, but we have all seen what is a pandemic and how temporary people are, how temporary life is, right? We almost experienced part of it. Say, however proud you are of what you are, there is a doctor in Nellore, a big doctor's family in Nellore, South India. That person has like wealth that he doesn't want to count. That kind of wealth he has. And he has big hospital in Nellore of his own. And he has a hospital in Chennai also, right? And he has 2 daughters. His daughter is my cousin's daughter, friend. Both of them are friends. They both are doctors also. So it so happened during Corona time, in the initial days when nobody knew what is Corona, how to handle, he got Corona and he was taken away to a hospital, which was specifically for Corona. He could not even get admission in his own hospital. Can you imagine? They said, doctor said, no, it should not be here. They was taken somewhere. Family was shifted to some other place. He died with nobody around. Literally nobody around. His wife could not see him. His daughter could not touch him. They threw him in a ditch like, municipality dog is thrown to a ditch after it's dead. Can you imagine what life he has? What is the opulence that you're talking about? What about that BMW car? What about the Rolls Royce car? What about that big flat? What about that? Whatever that you have has no meaning. A person in mode of goodness can see this, can understand this. So if he sees somebody rich or if he sees somebody poor, he doesn't really bother by that. Because anybody can become rich or poor any single day. One fraction of a second, right? You can lose everything. One fraction of a second, you can become very rich also, right? So people in the mode of Shuddha Sattva, they unconditionally serve Krishna and spiritual master in all circumstances. Whatever way I am, wherever I am serving God. They're very happy and peaceful with that, right? They're not attached to the fruits of, like, there were some devotees in Russia, ISKCON devotees in Russia. They were caught by KGB, one of the big police there, who actually is very, very difficult. They handle very rudely. So they put them into jail for 20 years, 15 years, just because they were chanting Hare Krishna. And what did they do in that jail? They were chanting Hare Krishna. They were preaching to devotees in the other jailers in the jail also. They were preaching Krishna consciousness. So for a devotee, it doesn't make a difference whether you are in heaven or whether in hell. There is nothing called heaven or hell. Wherever I am, I'm chanting Hare Krishna, I'm doing Kirtan. Isn't it? Yeah. So that's a devotional consciousness. Now, we talk about, now here is a little sensitive area, but I want you to understand from Bhagavad Gita angle. We'll still discuss it. Is worship also in the mode of goodness, passion and ignorance? Right? Krishna says in 17th chapter 4th shloka, he says, men in the mode of goodness worship the demigods. Those in the mode of passion worship the demons. And those in the mode of ignorance worship ghosts and spirits. Right? It's mentioned, what kind of people worship according to the mode in which they are. Right? What is the mode that is influencing them? What does it mean? So people in the mode of ignorance, they worship ghosts and spirits. Meaning, there is somebody, he is not God, he is already dead, but you think that he is God, and you are worshipping him, right? Like worshipping ghosts and spirits, as simple as that. He is not anybody God. He is just like one of us. But somebody misinterpreted that he is God. He is already dead, gone. You are still worshipping him. You are calling him again and again. And he is actually coming also. He is coming in his different ways. But he is not, he's just a pretatma, you can say. Or you can say, he is somebody who is not needed to be brought back. He keeps coming in way. You are worshipping him like that. Or even if he is coming or not, you think that he is God. So these people are ignorant. They don't know. They are just sentimentally attached to somebody. उनके वजह से मेरा बच्चा हुआ. उनके वजह से मेरा बच्चा हुआ. Because of him, I had a child. Because I worshipped him, I had a child. I'll put my name also. The child's name also his name. अगर उनके वजह से तुम्हें बच्चा हुआ, बाकी बच्चे कैसे पैदा हो रहे? Right? There are others also giving birth, but they don't see all these things. If something good happens to you, when you worship somebody, if something good happens to you, you immediately declare that he is God. But that's not a way to measure who is God. If somebody gives you food in the balcony, say there are 4 flats in the balcony, my son goes outside and one of the door opens and they give some food. So one lady comes and gives food. That lady will become your mother? Does the lady become your mother? Yeah, you should consider her as mother, but is she a real mother? No. She has given food. That's okay. You should be thankful, grateful. That's all. But just because you're eating food doesn't mean that, she becomes your mother. Just because things are working for you when you're worshipping somebody doesn't mean that person is God. God is God. God is always God. God is God. Even if he is not working out for you, still is God. Right? Things are not working for me. Monday I'm going to one person, Tuesday one person, Wednesday one person, Thursday your business chal raha hai kya? Right? And if the Tuesday God doesn't work, I'll go to Thursday God. If all the 7 days are not working, I'll go to new God. Right? So this is called people in the mode of ignorance. They'll simply go by what is working out. Sentimentally attached. They think that the God is everywhere. I can see him everywhere. I can feel him everywhere. I saw him in the shadow. Right? I saw him in that moon. I saw him in that sun. I saw him here. I saw him there. You know what I'm saying? That is called people in the mode of ignorance. People in the mode of ignorance. They will never understand who is God. They'll keep imagining their God. Like I opened the rice bag, I saw his name inside. My God is appearing to me. Have some logic. No. Whatever works for me, that is God. Meaning they are completely ignorant of scriptures. They are completely ignorant of any spiritual knowledge. For them, whoever works is God. Are you all understanding, Professor Mathis? You all good till now? Yes, sir. Yes. Yes.
So we offer Pitrukarya during Amavasya. So we don't worship our Pitru, but we request them to accept whatever you are giving.
Yes.
That is not falling under the
mode of goodness. That is mode of goodness. Yes. That is as per scriptures.
Okay. We are not praying them. We are requesting them to accept.
Exactly. You are asking them to come and take. That is as per scriptures. See, this is not as per scriptures. One of the most important characteristics of people in the mode of ignorance, they'll worship people who are not mentioned in scriptures. They'll choose that people who are not mentioned, and they will worship in their own whimsical ways. Aarti kaise dete? When you do Aarti, morning we did Aarti for Radha Krishna. We have Dupam, Deepam, Jalam, Vastram. We offer, incense. Then we have Deepam. Then we have, the water, Jalam. Right? Then Vastram, we give clothes. Right? And then we give. So there is a procedure. But what will you feel if I take one, one sword and I'm dancing in front of God like this? And I'm saying, this is my way of worship. This is whimsical way of worship. It's not mentioned anywhere. Or I take one lamp and I'm jumping and dancing everywhere. No, there is a particular paddhati to do things. So people follow scriptures. But people in the mode of ignorance, they don't follow any scriptures. They will do whatever they want to do. Right? People in the mode of passion, they worship demons, powerful men, self-proclaimed imitation gods, because they want immediate reciprocation, right? So they worship demons or powerful men. Bhagwan jaisa hamara neta, right? This political leader ko Bhagwan bhi bana diya, right? Bhagwan jaisa. And some self-proclaimed gods. There are so many self-proclaimed gods, meaning that they're saying that I am God. I don't know if you have seen such gods, but there are many gods today, on this planet also. One fellow is sitting in Chennai, one fellow is sitting, I don't know where, I don't want to comment. But there are so many self-proclaimed gods. Am I Bhagwanu? Right? And then people like to believe such kind of gods. Why? Because they can call that Bhagwan to their home and send a WhatsApp to every whole world saying that God is in my home now. Right? Just for recognition. In America, when these fake gods go from India to America, they travel also. So in America, immediately 20 couples will come and say, "Aapko hamare ghar mein rehna hai. You should stay in my home." Why? Because my home will become popular. I will become popular. It's all about using powerful personalities for your name and fame. This is called mode of passion. See, mode of passion, you can see the quality in general. It's about me and enjoyment. Me and my enjoyment. Right? They'll worship demons. They'll worship self-proclaimed gods. They'll not. They actually don't really worship also. It's more like using God. More like using God. Right? Then people in the mode of goodness, they worship devatas, an impersonal conception of God also. These people go a little to the scriptures. Devatas they worship, meaning you can worship Ganeshji, you can worship Hanumanji, you can worship Lakshmiji, you can worship, so many devatas are there. Durga Ma, Kali Puja. You can do all that. This is all part of mode of goodness. They worship as per scriptures. But there is a little expectation sitting somewhere when you are worshipping that. That, I think everything good should happen in my home when I do that. I'm doing it for auspiciousness, like that. They have some little expectation somewhere. But still it is mode of goodness. They don't go and worship people who are not mentioned in the scriptures as God. Are you all following so far? Yeah. People in the mode of Shuddha Sattva, they worship the Supreme Personality of God. They worship Bhagwan, Krishna, Narayana, like that. They're very clear why they're worshipping. And does it mean that they don't worship devatas? They worship devatas knowing that devatas are devatas, Bhagwan is Bhagwan. You understand the difference? See, just because you respect the father in the house, does it mean you respect the mother in the house? Disrespect? Does it mean you disrespect your wife, your husband, because you're respecting the main head of the house? No. First, you should know who is the head of the house. And you should also know who are the others. And everybody has their level of respect. But you should know who is the head of the house. When any Brahman comes to your home and does any yajna, he starts with what? He starts with Om Keshavaya Madhavaya. He knows where to start. He doesn't start with anything that he wants to start with. Right? And when he ends the entire yajna, no matter what yajna in Vedic scriptures, he ends with Sarvam Krishna. Krishna Arpamastu. He just says everything except Hey Krishna. So whatever you start with, whatever you end with is always with the highest. In between, you can have a little khichdi here and there. That's okay. Right? But they know very clearly, Shuddha Sattva people, they know very clearly that if I water the roots of the plant, all the branches and leaves will be happy. If I worship the Supreme Lord, all the devatas will be happy. As simple as that. And it's not a statement that we are making. It's already there in the scriptures. It says that when you worship Krishna, when you worship Narayan, all devatas are automatically happy. Actually, the purpose of all devatas is to bring you to Krishna. That is the purpose. What is their role? Ganeshji sends us, Ganeshji, what does Ganeshji want us to do? Ganeshji wants us to become devotees of Krishna, Narayan. And that is the reason he sat down and wrote Bhagavad Gita. He sat down and wrote all the Vedic scriptures. Why? Because he wants us to become devotees of Krishna. He is very, very clear. When you go to Kashi, what does Lord Shiva want? He wants you to become devotee of Ram. He tells, anybody who leaves body in Kashi, I will personally come and chant the name of Ram in your ears. Right? Wherever there is Narayan's Dham, in 4 directions there is Shiva's temples. Because Lord Shiva is Kshetra Palaka. He is the protector of all the holy dhams. When you go to Tirupati, actually the first place you should go is Kalahasti. Because you should go there, take permission from Lord Shiva, then go to meet Lord Narayan. There is a whole protocol. It's a different thing. We break the protocol. We want, we have less time, or we have business transaction. So immediately we'll go and do whatever we want. But there is a whole protocol how we do what we do. Right? We're not trying to divide gods. We're trying to understand who is the Bhagwan and who are the Devatas. Right? How can you make Lakshmi ji happy? Lakshmi Puja or Narayan Puja? If this house is doing Lakshmi Puja, this house is doing Narayan Puja, where will Lakshmi Devi go? Narayan Puja. Isn't it? Doing Lakshmi Puja, keeping Narayan aside is Ravana tendency. Ravana wanted Sita without Ram. You want Lakshmi without Narayan. Same thing, isn't it? So you should not divide. You should actually understand who is serving whom. And you should serve the topmost, so everybody will be happy. You are following? We'll get more deeper into this topic when we go to the 10th session called Who is God. We'll have like all scriptures, Puranas, Upanishads. We'll go into the detail and we'll understand. Yes, brother. Yeah.
So, worshipping an enlightened great guru,
yes,
like Raghavendra Swami,
yes,
any of the three great gurus, that doesn't seem to fall here. So, is it
people in the mode of goodness in Shuddha Sattva, they never approach God without going to a guru. So ultimately they have to go to guru. Yeah.
Second question. We have these, I don't call them demigods, but Shastras say that there are these beings called Yakshas and Yakshini who are left behind on earth by Vera to take care of wealth on earth. So there are cults that worship them. Where do they fall? Because
passion.
Passion, okay.
Passion.
Because
powerful.
They want
powerful, yeah, powerful entities.
And there are people who I know who worship demigods. They do Rudra Chamkam around the clock. But they have siddhis and they have demonstrated, and I have seen that. But I don't fall for it. So where do they fall? They are also.
As long as they're worshipping the demigods, they are in goodness. But if they're worshipping to enjoy some things that they get out of them, it's also falling into mode of passion. So it's a mix of passion and goodness. It's a mix of passion and goodness. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Like for example, there are some people when they go to God, they take some nice bhoga with them. They make something, or they sponsor something, or they always that bhoga according to the scriptural ways. There are some things you should offer, and something you should not offer. Goodness. They look at the scriptures. What does a God like to? Patram pushpam phalam toyam yamoi vakta pranashyati. Krishna says, I accept all these things. So they make according to that and they go and they offer. That is mode of goodness. People in the mode of passion, they like to offer whatever they like to eat. Right? People in the mode of ignorance, they will kill animals, they will kill humans, they'll do this bali, that bali. Create so much pain to other living entities for their enjoyment in front of God. That is also worship, but in the mode of ignorance. Right? See, when you see people doing that, you should not get disturbed. You should understand that they're influenced by ignorance. Unless they come to passion or goodness, they can't understand what they're speaking. Right? So don't ever discourage or comment. Instead, help them to elevate. You can tell, why don't you also chant Hare Krishna mantra? Right? You're doing what you're doing, you also chant this. Slowly the mantra itself will take care that their consciousness will increase. They'll start reading scriptures. When they read scriptures, they'll understand, oh, there is goodness, passion. So let me make my choices which are good instead of bad choices. You all following what we're discussing? Yeah. It's natural to have these phases. Offerings of worship. People in the mode of ignorance, they perform faithlessly in defiance of scriptural injunctions and with no spiritual food distributed, no hymns chanted, and no remuneration made to the priests. They will do puja for the sake of doing puja. It's not like really puja. They will not remunerate the Brahmins according to their satisfaction. They'll even do negotiation with the Brahmin also. How much for Satyanarayana? 10,000. 10,000. Come on. That Brahmin did for 4,000. Let's settle for 6. So it's not, first of all, there are no pure Brahmins also for that matter, who will actually ask for, actually purest Brahmin, he'll never ask for Dakshina only. You have to run behind him and take something, like that. So you will start doing negotiation also, and they perform faithlessly. Actually, they don't have any faith in what they're doing. They're doing it with fear. I better do this and get into the house. I better do this and start my project. I better do this and, so they are just trying to, what I'm saying? Fulfill the society way of doing things. They don't have any faith. And such people are also done such kind of pujas only. Like, for example, unfortunately, sometimes even the so-called Brahmins, they only create fear in people rather than faith. Right? Like sometimes I go and sit in some Satyanarayana Swami Katha. How will the Katha be in Satyanarayana Swami Katha? It's actually wrong. You should not give such kind of. He'll tell, oh, there was a king. That king thought of doing Satyanarayana. Then he forgot. Then he got this problem, that problem, this problem, that problem. Then he remembered performing. What happened? That's okay. I can turn this. Don't worry. Yeah. So, there was a king. He forgot to do it. Then because he did not do it, some big problem came. And the big problem came, then he remembered Satyanarayana. Because he remembered Satyanarayana, he came and did. Now you do Satyanarayana, we are doing Satyanarayana. Swaha. Next story. There was a person, he had a daughter, he thought of doing Satyanarayana. He forgot to do Satyanarayana. She got married, her husband died, her son was in big trouble. Then he remembered that to Satyanarayana. Then he did Satyanarayana. Then everything went fine. That son, the daughter became nice, the wealth came back. Now you do Swaha. The stories are all like threatening. What are you telling me? Should I do Satyanarayana? I will do. Sir, don't threaten me more. Instead of telling that story after Satyanarayana, he can as well tell Ramayana. He can tell Mahabharata. He can tell Bhagavad Gita. What is stopping you? He can tell nice stories from Bhagavatam, Prahlad story, Dhruva story. So many nice stories he can tell. But if he tells that stories, Dhanda kaise chalega? Dhanda kab chalega? When you tell stories which will create fear. Then at the end he'll tell. So you are also promising that every quarter you will do one Satyanarayana. That fellow is thinking, I never thought about it. But now you made me tell. Now, if I don't do, all those problems that came to the king will come to me. That's not the way religion is. Right? That should not be the way the religion is. I remember when we returned from US, my cousin sister, she was doing Gro Pravesham in Jubilee Hills, one house. So I went there and I was wearing tilak and, wearing normal kurta pajama. So one Brahmin was sitting there. I'm not talking against Brahmins. Brahmins are very pure people, but some of them become corrupt now. They're not really Brahmins. They're doing business. So exactly before we came here, that Kedarnath incident happened, where a lot of innocent souls, they died in Kedarnath when the big flood came in. So we were doing the Gropravation, and after that, I went. By the time I came, it was late. So by the time I came into the hall, that Brahmin was giving cards, like visiting card, like that, to everybody. So what is the visiting card? One card came to me also. They looked at that. He said, Kedara Vratam. Kedara Vratam? What is Kedar? I will worship Lord Shiva. There's no problem with that. But he created a new Vratam called Kedar Vratam. And he started telling, ladies, you want to save your Pasapumkuma, save your, marriage or your husband, you should do Kedar Vratam. I'm available. Please book in advance. Immediately, some other, in our house. Then I was standing there, so he looked at me. So he understood this fellow is the ISKCON devotee. Some knowledge he has. Then he suddenly became very uncomfortable because I know what that fellow is doing. There's nothing called Kedar Vratam in the scriptures. Kedarnath is worshipped, but the way he is propagating, there is nothing like that. So then after the whole thing, I went to him and I said, why are you doing this? Instead, you can tell, come and let's do, Lord Shiva's puja. Let's do Abhishekam to Lingam. No problem. Tell people to do that. Na? Automatically their families and everybody is saved. That is auspicious. Why do you have to threaten people with putting, wrong messages to scare people? You don't have to do that. Don't make people fearful of God. Make people loving God. Are you all following? People in the mode of ignorance, they get influenced with such things. They just do things out of sheer ignorance. They don't even chant the right mantras, right? And they are completely influenced by, like for example, there is one fellow here. I don't want to name him. I can say pyramid fellow, right? That fellow has created a new ritual now that anybody in your family dies, you should chant my mantras. You should not chant the mantras given in Vedas. Even the last sanskaram that is done, that Pinda Pradhan, that you should not do. You should just chant my mantras. Can you imagine what he's doing? He's creating havoc on the planet, because there are these forefathers who actually are waiting for your offering. And they will not get it because you're believing somebody who is wrong. So you start worshipping people, you start worshipping things which are not mentioned in the scriptures. Right? That is mode of ignorance. Mode of passion, performed proudly for the sake of material and benefit. Such elevation is to heavenly kingdom. Performed proudly for the sake of some material and benefit. For fame, name, or material benefit only they'll do. Whenever Ganesh Puja happens, all the Bollywood celebrities will go to the Ganesh temple in Bombay. What is it? Siddhivinayak temple. Everybody, next Stardust magazine will all have everybody standing in Siddhivinayak. What happened 2 days before? What happened 2 days later? Nobody will be there. Right? They'll only do it for fame and name. And they'll go to even Tirupati, they'll go to any Punya Kshetram, but material benefit. Mere ko kya milega? Right? That is the whole point. Bachcha paida nahi ho raha hai. Tirupati jao. बच्चा हो गया, स्कूल में सीट नहीं मिल रहा है, तिरुपति जाओ. स्कूल में सीट मिल रहा है, बच्चा पढ़ नहीं रहा है, तिरुपति जाओ. पढ़ने के बाद जॉब नहीं आ रहा है, तिरुपति जाओ. जॉब आया, शादी नहीं हो रहा है, तिरुपति जाओ. फिर बच्चा पैदा नहीं हो रहा है, तिरुपति जाओ. Tirupati Balaji is what? Your order supply? When you go to a hotel and say, "Mera do paneer butter masala, ek tadka maar ke." Like that also, you go to Tirupati and say, "Balaji, ek tadka maar ke, शादी, एक तड़का मार के जॉब." क्या चल रहा है यहाँ पे? नहीं, ఇది అయిపోతే జుట్టిస్తా నువ్వు होनेसे या फिर జుట్టిచ్చినా అది అయిపోవాలి. I've given this here, it has to happen. If it doesn't happen, then Monday Balaji will go, Tuesday somebody else will come. That is what is going on. Using God for your own benefit. Passion, desireful. I want this, then only I'll go. You are following? Yeah. Mode of goodness, performed as a duty according to scriptural regulations and with no expectation or reward. They do it as a duty. Like Prabhuji just now told, he has done a duty for his ancestors. That's a duty. You don't expect anything out of it. You do it. You do it as per the scriptures. You do it in a particular paddhati. You don't create your own paddhati. You don't create your own whimsical way of doing things. Right? You call a right Brahmana. You actually upavas. You don't eat anything until it is over. You don't wear a tracksuit and sit in a vratam. You actually wear Vedic kind of clothes, right? Which are meant to be creating that ambience. So you are very particular about how to do it in a right way. And as a duty without any expectation. I go and see Lord Balaji because he is my father. I want to go and, what is the meaning of darshan? People say darshan. Darshan ayinda? Bagayinda? Darshan. Srila Prabhupada explained what is the meaning of darshan. Srila Prabhupada told, darshan means you have seen God, and after that when you turn back, you only see darkness. You don't see anything after that. If you really had darshan of God, after that you should not be able to see anything. Isn't it? What can be more beautiful than God? Tell me. What can be more beautiful than Narayan? What can be more beautiful than Krishna? So you're going and looking at darshan like this, Balaji, top to bottom. And then you turn and say, Woodlands mein khayenge na to Bimas mein khayenge. Did you really have darshan? No. Because darshan means what? After that you should not see anything. There should not be any interest in this world. You should know, Krishna, I want to be here only. Or I want to serve you. I want to keep doing something for you. I dedicate my life to you. That is called darshan. Right? But people say, darshan kaise hua? MLA ka letter mila. Acha darshan hua. Close darshan hua. Close. Balaji was here only. I was here only. He still did not have darshan. Darshan is not about how closely you are standing to the deity. Darshan is about how deity is in your heart. How close it is in your heart. How much are you relating to God? Adi darshan. Right? I had a 20,000 ticket darshan. I had a 10,000 ticket darshan. I had this darshan. That's nonsense. That's not darshan. Darshan means to fall in love. Right? There is a beautiful pastime of Ramanujacharya and Dhanurdas. Right? Ramanujacharya, Dhanurdas. Right? Yeah. So this Ramanujacharya, you know who is Ramanujacharya? One of the great acharyas, right? In Vaishnava Sri Vaishnava Sampradaya, he is the acharya. So please hear this. So Ramanujacharya, he is Utsav Murti in Sri Rangam. How many have gone to Sri Rangam here? Please go if you have not. You can see the whole structure of spiritual world in the material world. The whole temple is designed like spiritual world. Vaikuntha Dham exactly is brought here. So the Utsav Murti is coming out. Lord Narayan is coming out, and everybody is looking at the deity of Narayan, and everybody is doing, dancing. They are chanting. But one fellow there is looking at one girl like this. One girl is standing in that, in that arena when God is going. Utsav Murti is coming out. Everybody is looking at the God. This fellow is looking at the girl like this. And Ramanujacharya looks at this person. Immediately he calls his disciple. Can you go and call that person here? I want to ask him something. So he goes and asks, come here. Ramanujacharya wants to talk to you. He says, yes. What question you have, Ramanujacharya? He says, whole world is looking at God. You are looking at that girl. What did you like in that girl? He says, she has the most beautiful eyes. I'm astonished looking at her eyes. There can be nothing more beautiful than her eyes. That is why I'm looking at her. Then Ramanujacharya says, what if I show you something more beautiful than those eyes? He says, impossible. There cannot be anything more beautiful than eyes. I've fallen in love with that girl. She's so beautiful. Her eyes are so beautiful. Then Ramanujacharya says, okay, do a thing. Tomorrow morning, 4 o'clock in the morning, come to the temple. Take bath. Come to the temple. I will show you something more beautiful than those eyes. Says, okay, I'll come. Then he goes next day morning. Then Ramanujacharya, he takes that person into the Garbhagudi, directly into the temple's most innermost chambers. And he takes a lamp and he prays to Krishna, please show your eyes to him. And he takes that lamp in front of Ranganath and he shows that eyes. As soon as he sees that eyes, he actually sees Krishna's eyes directly. Krishna's eyes. Namah Pankaja Nabhaya, Namah Pankaja Maline, Namah Pankaja Netraya. We sing, right? That song. Netraya, lotus eyes. He sees that and he gets stunned. He starts crying, profusely starts crying. Because an acharya can show you that. We cannot see, but a guru can show you God. We cannot see God. Guru can show us God. He showed that Supreme Lord Ranganath's eyes to that person. Immediately says, I have fallen in love with his eyes. Then Raman says, don't worry, I'll marry you to that girl also. Right? But you become a devotee of Ranganath now. He becomes a devotee of Ranganath. His name is Dhanurdas. And there are so many pastimes of Dhanurdas. If you go to Sri Rangam, you can hear so many pastimes, husband and wife, how they served Lord Ranganath. And so it's about attraction, darshan. When you get darshan of God, there is nothing more beautiful. If you have really got that in your life, that means you had darshan. If you have not got that, then you have not gone to Tirupati. You went to some hill station and you came. So you should pray, you should beg to Krishna. Krishna, can you give me that darshan? Can you give me that darshan that I fall in love with you? Right? So people in the mode of goodness, they get that darshan. They want to get that darshan. And Shuddha Sattva performed according to scriptural religion and the guidance of spiritual master. Most important thing. They will have a guru. They'll follow the instructions of that guru. For example, there is ISKCON founder A.C. Bhakti Swami Srila Prabhupada. His guru's name is Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj. So Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati, he was giving a lecture in Vrindavan. In Vrindavan, he was giving a lecture and all his disciples were sitting. And he saw that during the lecture time, a lot of disciples were missing. So they came a little late. So he asked, where were you all this time? So all those disciples told, Maharaj, we went to see all the temples, Krishna's temples in Vrindavan. Then he told, with these material eyes, Acharya told them, with these material eyes, what you will see God? You should come and sit here so you see God from your ears, not from your eyes. People should learn to see God from ears, from Shravanam. Then you can understand God's greatness from Pratyaksha Pramanam, from your eyes. You understanding? First learn to know the greatness of God, the beauty of God. Just hear it and learn. And then you will actually see God. So when you go to Tirupati, spend more time hearing about Lord Balaji from a sadhu. Then you will actually take darshan of Balaji. Real darshan will happen in your heart. Then you go to take darshan of Balaji, you will cry. But if you simply go and stand in front of Balaji, you will not get any feelings also. Like, okay, I've come. Oh, what a jewelry. Oh, new cap he has got. He has got. That's all you will see. You understand? Yeah. So whatever I told, you must be telling, Prabhuji, this presentation I can also make, sacrifice, you written all these things. How why should I believe whatever you're telling? Well, shloka number 17.11, 17.12, 17.13, exactly speaking about this only. Right? So whatever we are speaking is from Bhagavad Gita. How to determine somebody is in mode of goodness, passion, and ignorance. What is the time? Yeah. Srinivas Prabhu, can you call Karthik Prabhu? Okay, Prashad, okay. Oh, great. Thank you. Thank you. Sorry, Prabhu. Yeah. Is food related to mode of sensitive? Should we skip this slide? Yeah? Yes, no? No, yes? Let's go through it. No problem. Right? We like to eat what we like to eat. No problem with that. Even food, choice of food is also related to which mode in which you are. See, again, as I told you, why are you eating that is because you are in that mode. How can you come out of that mode? It's our choice. And if somebody is eating whatever he likes to, there's nothing wrong. It's their choice. Right? Understand that. People in the mode of ignorance, what kind of food they like? What kind of food they like? Tasteless food, stale, putrid, decomposed, unclean, cooked for more than 3 hours before being eaten, remnants of meals of others, meat, fish, eggs, liquor, mushrooms, onion, garlic, etc. These all come in the mode of ignorance, tamasic food. I might say, Prabhuji, 3 hours ka kya chakkar hai? Yeah. Actually, when you cook food, after 3 hours, it loses its prana shakti. There is no life in that food. You will eat it, but it will not give you good health. Good health means within 3 hours, you are eating it. You cook it, within 3 hours, you are eating it. That's the reason our ancestors were very healthy, because they were always cooking fresh food. Right? Now, आजकल क्या है? 15 chapati बना दो, रात तक वही खाओ. But now also, if you go to Gujarati houses, they make chapati before you eat. Actually, right from the pan to your plate. Right? Rice is also made right then, and then it is served. Right? Even in Punjabis, right, Mataji? They serve what is that? Tandoor. Is just before you eat, they make that in the serve. Right? That is called food which has some life in it. Whereas if you just make it and keep it in freezer, actually this fridge is like a machine which is created to kill people. Because there is nothing, no nutrient left. It's a bogus thing when they show in the advertisement that nutrients are flying everywhere in the fridge. There is no nutrients in the fridge. Fridge means dead matter. There is nothing in that, nothing left in that. Of course, sometimes you can freeze some things to not lose, like something like milk, something like butter. They still remain. But vegetables and all, actually, after you cut, within a certain time, if you don't eat, the prana shakti is gone. That is the reason all our houses in the past had a garden behind the house, and the last behind room was kitchen. So they would actually go and cut the vegetables and immediately cook and immediately serve. That's the reason all our health was very good. We never had B12 deficiency, vitamin D deficiency. All the deficiencies are coming because what we are eating is all frozen, right? So people in the mode of ignorance like to eat tasteless things, like day before yesterday's pizza, now microwaved and given fresh. What is that? Already dead matter. You are now microwaving and giving it, right? So decomposed food, cooking for the whole week. In America, they do that. When they sometimes, one of my friend's wife, whenever she used to go to India, she would cook for 3 months and go. And their fridge was like this big, right? And this fellow, she used to keep Monday this, Tuesday this, Thursday this. So he has to pick up from there and take it to office. People are actually there who do things like that. They only have to buy chapatis, curries are already cooked. What do you think will be there in that curries? Nothing will be there. It is actually bad for their health, right? And remnants of others' meals, jhuta khana, किसी और के plate में से उठा के खाना, that is also mode of ignorance. When we are eating, we should not serve, right? When you are serving, you should not eat. At least that much should be followed. But that jhuta khana leads you to mode of ignorance. What that does, it leads you, meaning your consciousness will be polluted. You will start thinking of wrong things. According to how you eat is what you are. How many of you can recognize that your mother has cooked it when you eat it? Did you can recognize? Because there is love inside. Food has consciousness. Food is not dead matter, right? Who cooked changes your consciousness. When you go to your mother's home and your mother cooks and you eat, the day after eating you'll feel very happy. Actually, you get good sleep also. You'll go and sleep in your mother's lap. That is the best vacation. Eat and sleep there, right? And she will nicely cuddle you. She will be so happy. But when you go to a restaurant, you eat and come out, sometimes your mood swings happen. You don't know, suddenly become very angry, very anxious. Why? Because the person cooking has that problem in his consciousness. He puts that consciousness into the food that he cooks and you get that consciousness. So purity comes from where you are eating, who is cooking also. Who is cooking matters, right? So people in the mode of ignorance, they don't really care about it. And eating fish, eggs, it's basically tamasic consciousness because you are killing some being. You are killing something. There's no need to kill. There is no need. See, if you have a choice, you can exercise that choice. If there is nothing else, there is a whole sequence of explanation given when you can eat meat. Does Vedic scriptures allow you to eat meat? Yes, they allow you to eat meat. It is mentioned in what is that? Markandeya Puran. When one can eat meat. Do you want to know? Should I tell that or is it not needed? Huh? No? Okay. Briefly I'll tell. You can eat meat, but there is conditions. What are the conditions? It says you should have nothing else to eat, then you can eat meat. Now, I have some bread, I have some rice, why should I eat meat? Why should I go and kill somebody? There is a living entity. It also has consciousness. Usko bhi bachcha hai, usko bhi, whole family is there. You're going and killing. You have something else to eat, so don't eat meat. Simple, na? Markandeya. It has saying seven reasons should be fulfilled before you eat meat. 7. Markandeya Puran says. There should be nothing else to it. Next. What is the next condition? You should only eat goat. Not any other animal. Only goat. I'll tell about goat later. Why only goat? Goat is the most dumbest animal actually. So it doesn't have any sense of what's going on around. So goat is allowed. Next condition. You should find the goat. So just imagine you want to eat meat, so you have to find a goat now. So by the time you find the goat, you might find something else to eat. So you'll not eat. See the condition? It is discouraging you to eat meat indirectly. Indirectly it is saying discouraging in slow way. Okay. So I found the goat. Now what? You have to kill that goat in a Kali temple. Now where to find Kali temple? Right? Now that fellow has to go Google map, Kali temple, where is Google map? Where is Kali temple? So he has to find the. By that time, you'll get something else to it, gone. You can stop it there, isn't it? So third condition, Kali. Fourth condition, it has to be Amavasya night only. Amavasya night. Kitna din mein aata Amavasya? 15 days. I have to wait for 15 days. I want to eat meat, let me wait. So by 15 days, I'll get something else to eat. I will not eat. Right? Okay, I found the Kali temple, it's Amavasya night. If there is a goat also, I have nothing else to eat. Now what? You have to kill that goat. Not that you go and tell I want 2 kg goat meat. No, nahi chalega. You have to kill that goat. Right? It says, okay, I'm going to kill that goat now. Okay. No, you have to learn how to kill that goat. There is a particular paddhati. You have to cut its nerve in such a way, all the blood flows out and it faints. And it dies without any trouble. Without a pain, it simply dies. Of course, there is some kind of pain. But scripture says there is a way to cut the throat. All the blood should flow out and it should slowly become dormant, it should die. Then what? Then can I eat? Yes, you can eat, but you have to cut and make so many number of pieces, you can only take some part to your home. And anybody who else has come there, you should give that remaining to them. You should only take that much that you need. You can't put it in your freezer. You know what I'm saying? So there is a whole sequence of 7 steps which are there in Markandeya Puran. If you want to eat meat, you can eat meat. Last one I forgot. 7th one I forgot. Thank you. You have to chant a mantra before you cut the throat. Please chant that mantra after me. Mamsa, Mamsa, Mamsa. You all have chanted this mantra already, right? You know what is Mamsam? Mas, Mamsam in different languages. Mamsa, me eat. You are giving an approval to that God. Next life, me eat. You will not get any sin. Mamsa. Simple. Oh God, I'm eating you because I have nothing else to eat. I'm in the situation that I have to survive. Sorry, I'm killing you. I'm giving an approval that in next life, when you are in such a situation, you can also cut me and eat. You will not get any sin. Mamsa. Surprisingly, even the English word meat has said me eat. I don't know. I was thinking it's not like that, but I was just analyzing. Mamsa. Right? So this is it beautiful? The scripture is beautifully saying you can do, but here are the conditions. And it all comes back. Whatever you do comes back to you. Right? Even in Islam, surprisingly, 7 conditions are there. And if you fulfill that 7 conditions, then only it is called as halal. Otherwise, it is called as haram. Very simple. You have nothing else to eat. You can only eat a goat. You have to cut that goat in a masjid. And you have to cut it in such a way that the blood flows out. That's called halal way of cutting. Right? And after the goat is killed, you have to make 7 pieces of it. And you can take 1 home, 6 have to be distributed. You can see they distribute meat on Bakri. Have you seen that? It's all there. If you don't do all these things, it's haram. It's haram. You'll get sin of it. Why is all these conditions given? To encourage meat eating or to discourage meat eating? It is the last option, Re Baba. It's the last option. Even Kshatriyas are allowed to eat meat. Kshatriyas, but when? Kshatriya means what? Not that you're born in a Kshatriya family. No, you work in Infosys, you're not a Kshatriya. Means you're actually on the war field. And you're so much wounded that you can't go back to your camp. You are struggling and crawling and strolling on the floor so that you can reach your camp and you don't have anything else to eat. You find something, you can kill that and eat. That is allowed. We can say, Prabhuji, but Kshatriyas, they kill deers, right? Killing deer, I've seen Arjun, I've seen Ram killing deers. They go for hunting. Pandu Maharaj was killing deers. Dashrath Maharaj was killing deers in Ramayana. What about this? Right? Yes, Kshatriyas are allowed to kill deers, not eat deers. And why they have to kill deers? Very simple. Wherever there are more deers, there will be more lions and tigers. So they always make sure that the deers are sent away. Because in the forest, who are sitting mostly? Rishi Munis are sitting and they are doing tapasya. And it's a disturbance for them when these wild animals will come. So it's one of the duty of the king to make sure that he goes for hunting and strays away the deers. Number 1. Number 2, even if he kills the deer, the skin of the deer is given to the Rishi Munis for them to sit on that skin and do the tapasya. Why? Why only deer skin? If you sit on deer skin, not a single snake or insect will climb on it. You can try if you have a deer skin anywhere. Not a single insect will come. Not a single scorpion. Not a single. That's why they are sitting so peacefully on a deer skin. Right? And deer is the most difficult animal to kill. If you really have to kill a deer, you really have to be a great warrior. It's like always scared of death. It keeps, its eyes senses like this, always searching who is going to come and kill me. Right? That is the reason a king should only choose a deer. So the chivalry skills also become nice. And he also has to see some blood. But that blood will allow him to go into the war. He has to come into the mode of passion to do the war. You can't be sitting in mode of goodness and doing war. Namaste, we are going to fight with each other. It will work like that? No. No, you should have that. Right? So people in army, they, in that extreme condition, can eat meat. But if they have still normal food, they should have normal food. right? Vedas are so beautifully explaining that ahimsa paramadharma. Ahimsa is part of our life. We will never do himsa. Then Prabhuji, plants also have life, right? What about plants? Huh? Is it okay to eat plants? Plants also have life? No, it is not okay to even eat plants. But jivo jivasya jivanam. Something you have to eat, right? If you don't eat, this body needs food, isn't it? This body needs food. So you have to eat something. That something is allowed in the scriptures. And Krishna says, offer it to me, I will remove the sin out of it. And what you can offer to me? Patram, pushpam, phalam, toyam. Leaf, fruit, milk or water, and flower, vegetables. You can offer. And I'll accept it. If you don't if you don't offer it to God, even vegetarian food that you're eating is sin only. Did you create the plants? No. Plants are given by God only. So whatever you take, offer it to God. Make it a point in your house that I'll offer it to God. Singing prayers before you eat. That's another way. But first, before giving to God, you should offer it. Right? Whatever we are going to serve here today is prashadam. We offer it to Krishna, Radha Krishna. We offer it to our Guru. Guru offers it to Krishna. And then we have it. No sin. Actually, forget about sin. That will increase spiritual consciousness. Spiritual food increases spiritual consciousness. Following me? So this can go on. I'm sure you'll have many more questions about meat eating. There is nothing right or wrong about eating meat. Let's not look at it like that. Let's not look at it like that. Is it right or wrong? According to your consciousness, according to your choice, it matters. Whether you want to be tamasic, rajasic, or sattva. If you want to go towards spirituality, you can't eat meat and say, I'll go to spirituality. Is it right? No, you can't. You're killing, you yourself to kill, by the way. Scriptures never tell that you can go to a meat shop or what is it, new apps that have come for meat? I don't know. 10, 20 apps have come. Just order, you'll get this meat, that meat. No, that is not. You want to eat, you kill. Once I showed some pictures. I'll not show now. In one of the satsang in America, I was showing pictures. I had a slide of how meat is produced in the factories. How the whole butchering happens. And immediately one Mataji, she got up. What is her name? Palak Mataji. She was from North India. Prabhuji, please, ऐसे नहीं होगा देखना. हाँ? लेकिन फिर घर जाके क्या खाओगे? Chicken biryani. What is good for what is not good for your eyes? How can it be good for your stomach? Right? You really want to eat meat? Get a animal to your home. Keep the knife on its neck. Look into its eyes and then cut it. Then you are eligible to eat meat. Not by somebody else killing it. Actually, 7 people get the sin when meat is served. 7 people, scriptures explain. The one who kills it, the one who serves it, the one who cooks it, the one who eats it, the one who sees it, even when it is happening. Right? There is a whole list of things there. Because there is a whole violence happening there. Right? Is it needed? Right? I am from Reddy family. Right? In my family, people eat meat. When I was told, if you have a choice, don't eat, then I said, okay, this is easy. If I have a choice, I don't have to. And surprisingly, I always have many choices of not eating meat. Right? So it's only a question of choice. And especially when you want to elevate yourself towards spiritual path, your choice of food is very, very important. Choice of food is very important. According to that, for example, if you have fever, what does the doctor tell? Light food. Does it tell chicken biryani khao? Mutton biryani khao? Does it tell? No, he says, don't eat meat for a few days. Why does the doctor tell don't eat meat when you are fallen sick? Because digesting meat takes so much energy. It needs so much energy to digest meat. It's very difficult to digest meat. Our saliva, our gases are not inbuilt to digest meat. It's like putting 40-volt instrument on a 10-volt switch. Right? The switch is literally burning out because you have to burn so much. And there are even scientific reasons also why we are not actually designed to eat meat normally as a normal food. Right? Extreme conditions, different thing. We'll not get into that now. Maybe later. There is one more topic of 4 pillars of dharma. We'll discuss that more elaborately. So here is the food choice. People in the mode of passion, what they like to eat. Passionate people. Too bitter, too sour, salty, pungent, rich, dry, hot. It has to be really, really hot. Right? Causes pain, distress, and disease. When you eat such kind of food, you'll get distress and disease also. They like too cold things. It has to be really cold, or it is really hot. That's a jiva jal jana chahiye. Your tongue should burn. Then they feel, aaj khaya khana. Huh?
Acidity.
Acidity. You get so many problems with that. Diseases you get, right? Because you are eating it so hot or so cold also. It's not good. Even I like to eat hot food. I have to get over it. But it's actually mild temperature is a perfect temperature. It should not be too hot also. Because that means, and too bitter. बहुत chala karanga undali, chala, बहुत तीखा रहना चाहिए, बहुत people in the mode of rajasic, they actually want it. So you can understand, if you are eating like that, that means rajasic is predominating me. Sattvic food increases longevity, purifies one's existence, gives strength, health, happiness, and satisfaction. Nourishing, sweet, juicy, fattening, palatable milk, grains, sugar, fruits, and vegetables. Butter, ghee is liked by people who are in mode of goodness. They like to eat more in butter. They like to eat more ghee, not the Amul butter. That's not butter. That's oil slab, right? Should eat the white butter. How many have eaten white butter coming from cow milk? Amazing, amazing. Nothing. That's what Krishna is to eat, right? Venna, right? That is that. Even if you eat 1 kg, nothing will happen. Don't go more than that. But that's actually soothing to the heart, right? It's very nice for health. You can even eat so much ghee. Our ads are polluted so much that if you eat ghee, you'll become fat. No, ghee actually balances. People who are thin will become normal. People who are fat will become normal. Ghee is actually a very balancing agent. And ghee purifies so many diseases. Pure ghee, if you have headache, if you have sinus, if you have throat pain, people just keep ghee, and ghee automatically. See, when you're hungry, when you're very hungry, and it might be a situation where you're eating something but pet nahi bhar raha hai. I don't know if you've gone through that any time. You're eating, but you're not satisfied. You're not feeling that you've finished your meal. You still want to eat something else. You know what you should do? Just cook some rice, put pure ghee, mix it, and eat two niwalas, and you'll be satisfied. Your heart will tell, okay, enough. I don't want anything more. Why? Because the ghee has the blessing of mother cow. When you eat that ghee, you'll be satisfied. Unless than that, you cannot. Right? So, such things are eaten by people in the mode of goodness. And they like to eat rich food. Rich ghee is actually a very rich thing. You know how much 1 kg ghee costs today?
16,000 rupees. 16,000.
Purest ghee, I mean, at my level, minimum 4,000 rupees. Minimum. Like we have cows, we get cow milk from my own farm. I have a farm. Maybe one of the sessions we'll do there also. One day we'll go. So when the milk comes, 40 liters of milk produces 1 kg of ghee. 40 liters of milk. Why? Because milk, Ayurveda says, milk is supposed to be thin, oil is supposed to be thick. What is happening today? Oil is thick, oil is thin, milk is thick. Why do you need thick milk? Because coffee अच्छा नहीं लगता है, tea अच्छा नहीं लगता है. This is all given by Britishers. But actually, right milk means it should be thin. And the little fat that it brings out, with that when you make a ghee, that is unbelievable. That's like Ayurveda. It'll cure you of all diseases if you just have that ghee. That is your real investment. Go and buy that ghee, even if it is 5 kgs a month. That 20,000 will save you from going to all these hospitals. Right? That is the Ayurvedic treatment. Now, mode of purified goodness. Invokes one's dormant Krishna consciousness prepared by devotees, remnants of the meal of a saintly person. You might say, रोज झूठा नहीं खाना चाहिए. नहीं, साधु लोगों का झूठा खाना चाहिए और उनको देना चाहिए. It's not like you go and snatch from sadhu's plate. He has to feel, I want to give my remnants. That's like a blessing, right? Ramanujacharya ate the remnants of Kanchipurna. Kanchipurna was a Shudra. He was not even a Brahmin. Shudra born. but he went and took the remnants. Once one devotee, he wanted to take the remnants of a great sadhu. The sadhu was not, sadhu was feeling very humble that I'm not a sadhu. How can I give my remnants? I'm not a sadhu. The devotee became very intelligent. What did he do? He went and gave mangoes, juicy mangoes. So what did the sadhu do? He had the mangoes, but he threw the seed. He went and sucked those seeds, saying that these are remnants of the sadhu. That was known by the sadhu. My God, how desperate you are. It's a culture in our society that we can eat the remnants of sadhu. The only remnants that a wife can have is husbands. Nobody else. Nobody else. Right? That is the only thing that is allowed. And there is one place on the planet where you can eat anybody's remnants, and that is Jagannath Puri. There is no rule of Juta. Right? Because Jagannath Prasadam is everywhere. That is the only place. Otherwise, we should never eat remnants of anybody else. Never take food. What to speak of sharing, cool drink bottles saying, ye lo, aap lo, that is even horrible. You get that consciousness, you get affected. See, God consciousness is a very subtle thing, Provision Mother, very subtle. How your thinking process changes, you won't even know. But your choices start becoming bad when you're in bad association. You all following what I'm saying? Yeah. Religion is not about no. It is about do the right things. Right? If people want to still continue what they're doing, they can continue. But if you want to change in your consciousness, you have to do some things different. Right? Yeah. Yes, Prabhu.
Now with this concept of vegan, which is going on, where to justify what human beings are the only beings who bring milk from other beings. That is why people are changing to this vegan. So how do we justify that and where do that go?
Yeah. So Prabhuji, vegan is an extreme choice to stop violence. Is an extreme choice. Vegan. It's not a natural solution given by nature. Vegan is, there is no other way to stop violence on animals because they are so much, especially in foreign countries. They're doing now in India also, unfortunately. They are literally torturing animals so much that now the only way is if I become vegan, at least I'm not part of that sin and I'm not contributing to that business of torturing animals. But is vegan giving the entire diet that you need? No. Because even Ayurveda says a human should have milk until he is old. Even in the oldest of the age, you should have milk. Cow milk, especially cow, not buffalo milk. Buffalo milk will make you like a buffalo. Thinking process. Dull. How does the buffalo walk? How does the buffalo sit? Dull. But cows are very active. Cows are very, they go around. They don't sit at a place. Cow never sits at a place. It keeps going around. Once in a while it sits. Right? So when you have cow milk, when your children have cow milk, they'll have cow consciousness. Very, very intelligent consciousness. Actually, it's a big topic which you can take some other day. But cow actually produces medicine for our family when it knows our family. It eats those Ayurvedic plants which will produce the right milk for our family. Right cow urine for our family. Right? And even when it eats normal things without knowing your family, still what it gives is Ayurvedic. Right? So cow milk, it's actually a wrong proposition created that if nobody else needs milk after childhood, why do humans need? Well, humans have that different kind of body. Ayurveda, nobody is greater than Ayurveda. Ayurveda says you should drink milk. Again, according to your Kapha Vata Pitta. So for some people, milk is not recommended. For some people, curd is not recommended. For some people, buttermilk is not recommended. For some people, even ghee is not recommended. But such categories are very different, very rare, but you should take consultation from the right Ayurvedic doctor. Then he will tell you what is the right thing you should have. Right? Now, violence on animal, yeah, too much violence is going on. And if you have no other choice, better not to have milk than making other, animals suffer. See, milk is given as an act of love. The cow never gives milk without the calf. Buffalo gives milk without the calf also. It can even give, right? But cow never gives milk without a calf. And calf has to nicely drink. Then only the cow will give milk to others, right? It has 4 udders. Not all 4 calf can have. You know what? I have cows, so I know the function. After some time, the cow kicks the calf, saying enough, both pili. No, then it allows us to go and take the milk. And there is a paddhati to take the milk. With your thumb, you have to press it and you have to, pull the nipple down and get the milk. Right? But what do people in dairies do? Calf hardly gets milk. As soon as calf sucks it, immediately the calf is removed from there. Immediately, not even few seconds. Actually, if you allow the calf to drink for 1 minute or even 30 seconds, it has its quota. It's so fastly it sucks. And even the cow releases the milk according to the calf. So there are times when after you milk, it stops. Milk is not coming. Again, you send the calf. Again, milk will come. Again, the calf will have. Again, you pull the calf. Again, you can take it. And it allows it according to a certain proportion. But in this dairies, what they do, they put sucking machines. And the machines are so bad and brutal that without the calf, they literally suck the milk out. And with that milk comes out blood, pus, mucus, everything comes out. And most of the time, the udders are even injured. They don't even see that because the machines are always kept. Right? And naturally, the milk comes with all diseases. And most of this, I'm not propagating here, but understand, most of this milk that you're getting, though it's white in color, it's white end. So that you don't see all that blood, you don't see all that different changed colors. And most of the time, what you're drinking is not even milk. What to speak of milk, right? It's some chemicals there are so many things that are happening now. So abused milk is very bad. Better than abused milk is go vegan. Better than abused milk. Because see, a mother curses, the cow curses that milk when it is being taken without giving it calf. And cursed milk is very bad. It gives us diseases. So many problems. Yeah. So being vegan is a good choice. But if you should also propagate, people buying cow milk. Because then cows are also taken care. If everybody becomes vegan, then cows also will vanish from the planet. Right? So we should always propagate. I should have the right milk, even if it costs whatever it costs, but I should have it. That's better choice. If you have that choice. Always know from where you're taking. If you can know which cow you're taking or which farmer you're taking, that's still better. And encourage that. Yeah. That's a very good thing to do. Did I answer your question? Sorry, cow is a very close topic for me. Last 4 years, I've learned a lot of things about cows. Before that, I didn't know anything about cows. But because when I got to know about this milk in America, I literally used to go like 30-40 miles away from the city to go to a farm to find milk that is not pasteurized and not homogenized. That used to cost so costly with raw milk. After coming to India, we don't know where to go. We tried some other sources. We got to know he's also doing all nonsense, all machines, all artificial insemination, right? There are no bulls, only cows. So all these things that we got to know. Then I said, okay, you know what? We'll have our own cow. So we had our own cow. Then devotees had more cows. So there were more cows. So now we have 64 cows. Now we stopped milking them because they're too much increasing number. Difficult to maintain also. Now we are getting little from there, but we are encouraging farmers. So we told the farmers, you bring cows, you only have desi cows, not Jersey cows. And then that desi cow milk, we will sell for you. We will take it. Don't worry. We have a distribution network. But we will do it. But, remove all the buffaloes. So we are encouraging farmers. So for 3 farmers have come forward. So it's a livelihood for farmers also. Anyway, so we all can do our part wherever we are in the city. Encourage a farmer. Let that become a livelihood for him also. And the cow dung is used for farming. Right? It should not be a dairy. Dairy means you're tying cows. Should never tie cows. Cows should be always left alone. Then it's like real taking care of cows. So anyway, so again, coming back to what we eat, whatever I told is not what I told you. You can see 17.9 foods that are too bitter, sour, salty, pungent. Whatever I'm writing here are actually verses in Bhagavad Gita, directly come from Bhagavad Gita. Right? So whatever we are hearing, as I told in the beginning of the session, this session is not to judge others what they are. This session is to understand what we are, right? And how we can become a better person. Yeah. Can charity be bad? Is charity also having goodness, passion, ignorance? Of course. Right? Charity. People in the mode of tamoguna, they also do charity. Performed at an improper time and place to unworthy person like a gambler, drunkard, contemptuously, without respect. You give charity without respect. That's not charity. You should be very respectfully giving charity. And you should give it to a worthy person, a worthy thing. Oh, you're coming from America. Can you get me a black label, red label, yellow label? That's not charity. And you bring that and give it to somebody and say, "Tumhare par bahut pyara hai, isliye main de rahi hu." That is charity only, but in mode of that is not good for his health also, right? So we should know what time, what whom we are giving, what we are giving, right? Charity in the mode of passion, perform to get something in return with desire to for fruitive results or grudging mood. Mere ko kya milega, right? His marriage, I'm going to give a sari. No, I mean her marriage, I'll give a sari. My marriage, did she give the sari or no? I gave 3,000 sari, she gave 2,000 sari. She, that is called what? Passionate charity. है कि नहीं? मेरे बर्थडे पे आईफोन दिया, तेरे बर्थडे पे सैमसंग दिया, like that. So that is called charity in the mode of passion, right? Rajoguna. People do charity like that. I'm sure you have seen. People in the mode of goodness, performed as a duty at a proper time and place to a worthy person with no expectation of material returns. You do it as a duty. You go and do it as a duty. You give it. This is my charity. This is what I can do. Actually, a lot of people, they keep a certain part of their income only for charity. I am not attached. This income is not mine. This income is not mine. 50%, 10%, 5%, 2%. This is my charity. Whatever that percent is. Krishna doesn't see how much you are giving. Krishna sees how much you are keeping back. Right? So how much charity one should do? Anybody? I told you. They already done. Thoda pinch lagna chahiye. After giving that, you should feel, I should have given a little less. That is charity. And mode of purified goodness, performed only for to satisfy the Supreme Lord. I am doing it for satisfy the Supreme Lord. When you go to Tirupati, do charity for Annadana. Because they give it to everybody. How many have eaten Annadana in Tirupati? Amazing, food that is coming from Lord Narayan, Krishna, right? So you feel so nice. You go to Udupi Krishna, you should have that Udupi Krishna Prashadam, right? You go to Raja Madan Mohan temple in Abbots, you get nice Prashadam, khichdi, or some nice halwa you'll get. I don't know what is there for today. But anyway, so the point is, you should eat purified, sanctified food. Wherever you get it, you should eat it. Because that is charity done by somebody in pure goodness that is coming to you in our spiritual remnants. Yes. So same thing what I wrote here, I wrote the verse numbers also, 20, 21, 22. As I said, we are finishing good amount of Bhagavad Gita today. Understanding, people in the mode of ignorance, we are almost done. What kind of understanding they have? They consider irreligion as religion, religion as irreligion, strives always in the wrong direction. You go and tell them, Prabhuji, Bhagavad Gita padna अच्छा है, Bhagavad Gita padna बुरा है. Prabhuji, भगवान को जो खाना देते हैं वो खाना चाहिए. भगवान है ही नहीं, उसको खाना नहीं देना चाहिए. Whatever you speak, that fellow will speak opposite. Whatever, I don't know if you have met any people like that. Anything you tell, they'll tell opposite to that, and they'll never want to agree with anything you tell. Pure, their understanding is purely in mode of ignorance. Tamoguna. Passion, misguided, perverse, and imperfect, cannot distinguish between religion and religion, truth and untruth, and should or should not be done. They don't care anything. I am getting what I want. I'll do any kind of work. Like one lady, she was the CEO of Pepsi, Indra Nooyi. Right? Yeah. So would you glorify her or not glorify her? I think we should glorify, because being a Mataji, she went such a big position, that too in a foreign organization. But what she is doing, is it good or bad to the society? How many are thinking like that? If I say that, some people might get even offended. Is Pepsi good for your health? Where is selling Pepsi then? No, Prabhuji, I'm just working in that company. No. You are helping Pepsi become a best drink, available to everybody. Is it a good thing? No. So people in the mode of passion, they will achieve anything in life, but they will not see whether it is doing good to people or bad to people. You understanding? Their understanding is not beyond that. Right? If you are a manager in Deloitte, is it a good thing or a bad thing? Making 20 people work throughout the night, is it a good thing or a bad thing? Baba, you will get the karma. Don't think you can escape that. Prabhuji, but they are coming and joining. You are making them work. You are making the work. If you affect others' health, you will pay for it. There is no doubt about it. So Prabhuji, karma ke cycle se kaise bahar girenge? Kuch na kuch that will happen in 6th and 7th session. Don't worry. I will tell you how to manage your karma in this Kali Yuga. Or how to even stay away from such things. Because everywhere sin is happening. Everywhere sin is happening. Deloitte, PwC, name the company. Making people, Amazon. So, I don't know, in Microsoft they were in the nights. I don't know. Anyway. So point is, karmic thing is going on everywhere. You're going to get paid, you're going to pay for it. Sattva guna intelligently discriminates under scriptural direction between what is to be done, what is not to be done, what is to be feared, not to be feared, what is liberating, binding. They are very particular about it. People in the mode of goodness will think first before executing. They'll think, should I do this? Is it good? Is it bad? Is it good for him? Is it good for him? They'll think everything. They'll never try to create trouble for others. Shuddha Sattva always perfectly considers Krishna through the personal realization confirmed by scriptures and the spiritual master. They're always going to take guidance from Guru. Then always serve Krishna. You understand? They'll never do anything which is not recommended in the scriptures. Never, ever. Even if it is very beneficial, they'll not do it. Right? Again, these words are also there. Can renunciation be bad? मैं त्याग कर रहा हूं, सबका त्याग कर रहा हूं. I give up also. Even this fellow is telling. Right? Is renunciation good or bad? Well, people in the mode of ignorance, what do they renunciate? Consists of giving up one's prescribed duties because of illusion. Prabhuji, I have come to spirituality. अब मैं नौकरी नहीं करूंगा. मैं सिर्फ भजन करूंगा. That is also bad. After hearing Bhagavad Gita, did Arjuna do bhajan or war? He did his duty, Re Baba. You should do your duty in the right consciousness, karma yoga. We'll discuss about it in 4th and 5th chapter when we go to the detailed study of Bhagavad Gita. So people in the mode of ignorance, they give up important things in the name of anything. Is it wrong to earn lots of money? No. In fact, you know what? Devotee should earn more money so you can spend more on God. You can spend more on educating people on God. You can spend more on building temples. You can spend more on building educational institutions where spirituality is taught. No problem. Earn more. Earn more. Earning more is, but saying, there is one story, one fellow, he was kept 1 rupee coin, started shivering. Oh, because money is kept. Is that renunciation? Once one person went and asked Prabhupada, how much money you need? He said, I want the money of the whole world. Because I want to spend it on Krishna. Right? Don't become artificially renunciate. Giving up money, giving up good clothes, giving up good house. Why not? Have the biggest house in the colony and have satsangs in that house. Right? Have the biggest vehicle and take devotees in that vehicle to dhams. Right? Get the greatest salary. Use that salary in betterment of society by spreading God consciousness. Renunciation is about how do you use your renunciation in service of God, not renouncing things which saying artificially that it's not good, it's not right. No, everything can be used in service of God. How many agree with this? Everything. Your job also you can use in service of God. Every Friday I conduct trainings in my office. I'm the head of HR also. I take advantage of that. I conduct training in the office. Right? And what do I train? I indirectly train Bhagavad Gita. And that motivates me to go to work. Right? I prepare for the presentation. Indirectly. And people like it also. And there are Muslims also attending the training. There are some Christian boys. They actually tell, it's very nice knowledge. Because knowledge is not bad. Did I speak anything against any religion? Till now? Did I say that somebody is bad, somebody is good? No. We provide choices. And people can execute the choices for elevating their consciousness. Right? You can, when Gita Jayanti happens, I take up 20 Bhagavad Gita, I keep on my cubicle. I don't tell anything. People come and take it. I keep a small slip there. 200 rupees, one Bhagavad Gita. I brought it from the temple. You want to take, you take. When Ram Navami happens, I take 20 Ramayans, keep on my desk. Or keep it in the hallway somewhere. You want to take, you take. I'm not forcing you to take. Right? Some people take. So can I use my job in Krishna consciousness? I can use. Can I use my marriage in Krishna consciousness? Yes, you can use. You can have nice devotee children. You can have a nice wife, nice husband who also becomes a devotee. If your husband is not becoming a devotee, don't cook for him for 1 week. Let him to become a devotee, but make him a devotee. Because by becoming devotee, you will be happy. He also will be happy. Right? Happiness comes where Krishna is there. Happiness comes where God is there. That is what kind of happiness we have in life. So everything, renunciation also, it can be in mode of passion. What about renunciation passion? Consists of giving up one's prescribed duties because of fear, because of they appear troublesome. Prabhuji, I am renouncing. For 1 year, I will not eat Karela. What is the greatest in that? So I will renounce what is convenient for me. People renounce things which are convenient for them. If I tell I will not eat gulab jamun for 1 year, that's a big renouncement. But if I tell I am renouncing Karela, anybody can renounce Karela, isn't it? So renouncing things which are dear to you is renouncement. Renouncing. Not things that you hate to do. Right? I'll never come to your house. You never came to my house. What kind of renouncement is that? Right? So actually tapasya, the word tapasya. Say tapasya. Tapasya. Yeah. Tapasya means to give up something that you like for a definite benefit in future. That is a definition of tapasya. What is that? To give up something you like for a definite benefit in future. That is tapasya. Tapasya doesn't mean that I'll give up something that I don't like. That anybody can give up. Right? So renunciation in mode of goodness consists of performing one's prescribed duties because they ought to be done, abandoning attachment to the fruits of one's work. I don't want to know whether I'll achieve or not, but I'll continue to do. I'll do it as a duty. I will take care of my family. I will take care of my friends. I will take care of my mother, father. I'll take care of my neighbor. I'll be a good person, good citizen as a duty. As a duty. As a duty, I will not create bad influence on others. Right? I will not influence others by my bad habits. I will not influence others. That's also a duty. How many of you know that all of you are leaders? All of you are leaders. Because there is somebody following you. Your child is following you. Maybe there is a neighbor in that balcony following you. You don't know. If you do some nonsense, then you're also inspiring them to follow you in the wrong path. Right? People in more, goodness, they do it for Krishna. That's the only thing. Their renunciation is for Krishna. They give up everything for Krishna. So here it is mentioned. Arjuna said, "My dear Krishna, O infallible one, my illusion is now gone. I have regained my memory by your mercy. I am now firm and free of doubt and am prepared to act according to your instructions." So all this is told. Now we're ending. So austerities, even austerities meaning, I told you, right? What you give up, what you do. Even austerities are in the mode of ignorance, mode of passion. I'll send you this presentation in the interest of time now to go. I spent a little more time on cows and some other topic actually. So I'm kind of struggling on time. So austerity, perform foolishly, perform for gain, perform with faith. It's very, I think by now you have understood what kind of people are people in mode of goodness and passion and ignorance. Ignorance means they create disturbance for themselves and others. Passion means they'll do it only when they like to do. They get happiness out of it. They get happiness out of it. And goodness means they do it for others. And pure goodness means they do it for God and others. Right? Yeah. Austerity. Real knowledge. Even knowledge falls into this category. What kind of knowledge? What kind of knowledge? What kind of knowledge? So knowledge, people in mode of ignorance, their knowledge is always ignorant knowledge. They will choose the most cheapest options in that knowledge, right? Exceptions only they want. People in mode of passion, they'll have different theories, different conceptions, different consciousness for their benefit. They'll use that knowledge for their benefit, categorically. And people in the mode of goodness gives rise to vision and undivided spiritual force with bodies of all beings. Basically they will understand spirituality more. Even when they're walking, if they see an ant, they'll be a little careful. You know why? The ant is going to its house. Why should I stamp it? They'll be a little careful like that. And people in the mode of goodness enables one to see all living entities as eternal, individual, spiritual servants of Supreme. They'll actually see everybody as same. Please repeat after me. Pandita Samadarshina. Pandita Samadarshina. Meaning, the one who sees all living entities as same is a Pandita. Meaning all the souls are same, whether it is a soul in a pig, soul in an ant, soul in a human, soul in a dog, soul in a bird. All the souls are same. They're all part of Krishna. Aham bija pradapitaha. He is the one who is, we are all part of him. Right? That we should understand. Everybody is part of God. So here, action also, what is pious action, what is impious action, right? That is also, so there's so much knowledge given in Bhagavad Gita. How many of you knew that all this was given in Bhagavad Gita before? Like so much explanation about good, bad, ignorance. Krishna is telling so many things. Actually, it's a manual of life to correct ourselves from what we are doing or not doing, right? So people who are, their actions are irresponsible, you can see that, performed with illusion, considering spiritual illusion, future bondage, etc. Rajoguna, performed under the false egotism and great effort. People who work too much hard are Rajogunic people. It's not actually good. Save your energy for higher consciousness. Human birth is not to work like dogs and pigs and donkeys. We have to use it for spiritual elevation also, right? Mode of goodness, performed under scriptural regulations, is a matter of duty without attachment and without love and hate by one who renounces the fruits of his actions is purification and performed for the satisfaction of God. The only difference. See, if you want to, I'll give an example, a simple example to understand the three modes. So you want to go to America. See, if going to America is going to God, just for now, if you think like that. So you have to, so staying in the house, thinking that I'll go is mode of ignorance. Right? Taking a car, going to the airport is mode of passion. Checking in and sitting at the terminal is mode of goodness. Boarding the flight is mode of Shuddha Sattva. Right? Just because you have reached the airport doesn't mean you'll go to America. You still have to board the flight. So the final step is very, very important. You have to perform bhakti. Then you can go to God. Either you can do goodness and you can keep rotating here. You keep rotating here. Janma, Mrityu, Jara, Vyadi. Janma, Mrityu, Jara, Vyadi. One life in Swarga, one life in Naraka, one life in Earth, one life in Gachibowli, one life in Telapur, one life here, one life here. Keep going here. That's all. You'll keep going around here. This Pratham, that Pratham, this Puja, that Puja, Gachibowli, Telapur, Hyderabad, Swargam, again come back, then here, rotating here. But the person who is intelligent will perform bhakti and he'll get out of the cycle itself. He'll go back to God. Because God is waiting for us. You understand what I'm saying? People in the mode of goodness, they do all vratams, all pujas, all homams, all abhishekam, but they'll not perform bhakti. Very dangerous. If you don't do bhakti, what is the use of all that? They'll not renounce. They'll be attached. I'm doing vratam because everything good is happening in my house. No, you do vratam for his satisfaction. Please repeat after me. Samsiddhir haritoshanam. Samsiddhir haritoshanam. Means what? I'm doing it for the satisfaction of Hari. Any activity I do only for Hari's satisfaction, not for my satisfaction, not for my wife's satisfaction, not for my father's satisfaction. Hari's satisfaction. Please repeat after me. Hrishikena, Hrishikesha, Sevanam, Bhakti Ruchate. Hrishikesha, Hrishikesha Sevanam. Hrishikena, Hrishikesha Sevanam. Bhakti Ruchate. Means what? Hrishikesha means the controller of all senses. Our senses, eyes, nose, ears, skin, tongue. He is the controller of all senses. Hrishikesha. Hrishikena. I am using my senses for the satisfaction of his senses. That is called bhakti. Simple. I am using my senses for the satisfaction of his senses. Can any one of you here perform bhakti? Who knows how to cook nicely? Please lift your hand. Or your husbands can lift your hand. They know better. You know how to cook. If you cook for Krishna, that's bhakti. You know how to teach. You teach for Krishna, that is bhakti. You know how to work. You work for Krishna, that is bhakti. You know how to draw. You draw Krishna, that is bhakti. You know how to sing. You sing Krishna's songs, that is bhakti. Bhakti is very simple. Hrishikena, Hrishikesha Sevanam, Bhakti Ruchate. Employ your senses, it's for the satisfaction of his senses, that is bhakti. Right? Definition of bhakti is very simple. Whatever you can do the best, do it for his pleasure. That is bhakti. Whatever you get from God, give it back to God a little, that is bhakti. For example, you come home, you bring a dairy milk to your house. You're coming home. You brought a dairy milk chocolate for your son or your daughter. After you bring that, your son comes and says, "Hey, Papa, you've come home." Then you take that, give that dairy milk. And the child takes the dairy milk, he goes inside, then he comes back. Says, "Nana, you take a little also." Tell me, is that not the sweetest dairy milk ever? Where the child is giving it back? In the same way, whatever we are receiving from God, when we give it back, that is the sweetest gift to Krishna. Whatever. You're just giving it back. You take Ganga's water, give it back to Ganga. You don't take it home. You give it back to Ganga. Right? And you say, "Thank you very much." That gratitude is Bhakti. That is the action they perform. So determination also, again, it's a big topic as I said, but I'm going forward, I'm not going in detail. We'll end this now. So how ending? One who dies in the mode of goodness attains the higher planets. Even death is mentioned about, dying in mode of goodness, passion and ignorance. Because one who dies in mode of passion, he takes birth among the fruitive activities and in animal kingdom, right? So happiness, destination after death, how you find happiness in these three modes, you can go through this presentation. I'll send the video so you can see that. People in the mode of ignorance, when they die, where do they go? They become animals, they become birds. So there is a philosophy which says, fake philosophy, again, human created philosophy. Humans only take birth as humans. No, Bhagavad Gita is clearly saying that if you lead a life in mode of ignorance, you will take birth among animals, birds, lower planets, right? Lower creatures. And in mode of passion, if you die in mode of passion, working day and night, what will happen? You will again take birth and join Deloitte or some other company. I'm just choosing Deloitte, PwC, or I don't know, Ernst & Young. You'll again take. Don't worry, you'll come back to Gachibowli or Noida or Gurgaon. This is what you wanted. Whatever your conscience at time of death is where you come back. People in the mode of goodness, where they go? Heavenly planets. They don't go to God. They go to Mauritius, heavenly planet, right? Mauritius with 20 lakhs in your credit card or debit card. You'll go there. You'll keep swiping. And finally, one day, authorization cancelled. What will happen? Chalo, jao. Wapas jao, kaam karo. You'll again come back. That is mode of goodness. Where do the people in mode of pure goodness go? To the abode of the Supreme Lord. Right? They ultimately. Janma karma chame divyam evam yavati tattvataha Tyakya deham punarjanma naiti mameti swartuna. They never come back. No punarjanma. They go back. Because they're done. So what mode am I in? Have you thought about it? What mode am I in? That's most important. Otherwise, this whole theory class is of no use. What mode am I in? Do I want to change? Do I want to progress? Or I really think that I'm in pure bhakti already. Right? That I'm not. I'm in mode of maybe I'll make a confession. I think I'm between ignorance and passion. Somewhere I'm struggling. So let me see how in this life where I'll go. So what is Krishna telling? It's a very important verse. Sometimes the mode of goodness becomes prominent, defeating the mode of passion and ignorance. O son of Bharata, sometimes the mode of passion defeats goodness and ignorance, and other times ignorance defeats goodness and passion. In this way, there is always competition for supremacy. Meaning what? It's not like you are in single mode all the time. Mode also keeps changing. In the morning, early morning, during Brahma Muhurta, mode of goodness, Sattva Guna. You will always get good thoughts. You don't get up 3 o'clock in the morning or in 4:30 in the morning and say, "I'll sack that fellow. I will kill that fellow. Let me have vodka." You'll not think all that. Naturally, you'll feel, I should go to a temple or I sit down and meditate or I should do some useful work like that or study, memorize shlokas. Like that you'll think in the morning. Sattva Guna is prominent at that time of the day. Then as soon as 8 o'clock starts, I have to make this report, send that report, this customer, that supplier, mode of passion, creation, destruction, everything will come into your mind. Passion. Sun comes out, passion comes out. Right? So then as the evening goes, now is the time to enjoy darkness, mode of ignorance. Naturally, people, all the bars will open, all the clubs will open, all the pubs will open. People will do all the things, burning all the good income they had there. Isn't it? Have you seen a pub or a bar or with full lights on? Never. That's dark activity done in darkness. Then only you'll feel that feeling, isn't it? Whereas a temple is always illuminated, right? Because that's how it is, right? So everything has its supremacy. So they keep changing, right? So what is the best mode, by the way? Rajoguna, Tamoguna, Sattva-guna, Shuddha Sattva. What is the best mode? Yes, Shuddha Sattva. Actually, it is Shuddha Sattva because Krishna is telling that in this shloka. Please repeat after me. Traigunya Vishaya Veda. Traigunya Vishaya Veda. Nishtray Guno Bhavarjuna. Nishtray Guno Bhavarjuna. Nirdvandvo Nitya Sattvasto. Nirdvandvo Nitya Sattvasto. Niryogakshema Atmavan. Niryogakshema Atmavan. Yeah. So please repeat after me. The Vedas deal mainly with the subject of the three modes of mental nature. O Arjuna, become transcendental to these three modes. Be free from all dualities and from all anxieties. Forgetting and be established in the self. So Krishna is telling, rise above the three modes. I'm not asking you to become good. I'm not asking you to become bad. I'm not asking you to become passionate. Because all these three will keep you here only. If you're ignorant, you'll keep going and coming up. If you're good, you'll keep going up and coming down. If you're passionate, you're rotating there only. Okay? So why do you do all that, Arjuna? Rise above these three. Don't do this war. Arjuna is being told, don't do this war out of anger. Because anger is ignorance. Don't do this war in revenge. Because revenge is also ignorance. Don't stop doing this war saying, I will not do the war, which is what he says in the beginning. But that is goodness. That also is a problem. Right? You having the skill and not doing is even bad. For example, there is a doctor sitting here. Right? There is a doctor sitting here and one person is dying. And the doctor and the person dies. Is the doctor responsible or no? But he didn't treat, no? He didn't treat. Doctor can tell, I didn't do any treatment. I was just sitting here, he died. Will you accept that? No. So being in goodness, not doing things, being in ignorance, not doing things, all these things will keep you here in the cycle of sin. Right? So better is rise. Traigunya Vishya Vedo Nishtraigunya Bhavarjuna Nirdandva Nitya Sattvasto Niryogakshema Atmavan. Don't think about Yoga Kshema. Rise above that. Depend on God. Everything will be auspicious. Thank you very much. I'm sorry. This session had to be finished.
Thank you.
Any questions? We'll take one or two. Yes,
I have a series of questions.
Oh my God. We'll take one or two now. Then we can during Prashadam. Maybe we can. I don't want them to wait for Prashadam.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Anybody else? Any questions?
How to cook for Krishna?
How to cook for Krishna with love? Yeah, you can do the offering by you should have a nice plate, a plate that you don't use, you use only for God, separate plate for God. And if you have a tulsi plant, keep a small tulsi leaf, right? And then give it to pray to Krishna. I mean, there is a whole detailed paddhati. I'm telling you a simple paddhati. Keep it in front of Krishna and say, please accept it, as this is the best I could do. And hey, Tulsi Maharani, please you ask Krishna to eat. And Krishna will eat. Then you can take that, mix it in the remaining what you have made, and everything becomes special. That's how it is done everywhere. In all. Yes, brother.
Okay, so I think last session you spoke about the mantra Krishna as such.
Hare Krishna mantra.
Yeah, you said the Nama Krishna, the person Krishna is saying.
Yes.
But when you look at Ramayana, towards the end of somewhere, Maharishi Vishwamitra, he tries to prove that the Nama and Nami are different. So he asks Hanuman to chant Ram mantra. He asks Bhagavan Ram to launch the Brahmastra. And the Brahmastra doesn't harm. So and he then proves that no, this proves that the Nama, Rama is superior than you. So that's what he says. So I was a bit confused when he said, this is probably the first time hearing that Krishna and the mantra both are saying. So I'm a bit confused.
I will also need to refer back. I've never heard of that story.
Sure.
Maybe I'll find and
Sure.
get back.
Definitely. Thank you.
Thank you.
There are other questions probably after.
Talking about name in the Ramas.
Yeah, Nama, Nami.
Specifically in Kali Yuga.
Okay.
In Kali Yuga, Krishna empowered
The name and-
as equal to himself. So
Okay.
that's easy to approach.
Okay.
So the Yuga Dharma of this Kali Yuga is Nama Sankirtan.
Okay.
Okay. So Yuga Dharmas are different, Yugas are different.
Okay.
In Kali Yuga, Nama is as equal to worshiping the Lord himself.
Oh.
Because Lord himself has invested our importance.
नामनामकारि बहुडानि सर्वशक्ति तत्रातिपा निमिता स्मरणेन काला एतादृशी तव कृपा भगवन् ममापि दुर्दैवमिदृशं निजानि अनुरागा. Hey, my Lord, you have invested all your energies in your holy name, and by chanting them, I get the same benefit of your darshan. Yes. So, any other questions? Anybody else? How was the session today? Sorry for the sensitive topics that were discussed, especially about food. Nobody likes to say about food. Onion garlic. So I will send you a video that will tell you how many heard the video on Ekadashi. I sent one video on Ekadashi by Amarendra Prabhu. Please hear, everybody, go back to that link. I'll put it again. I'm telling you, amazing. Because if you have to discuss everything here, it takes more time. Onion garlic also, I'll send that video. Actually, onion garlic mainly it decreases your attention span. Right? If you eat too much onion, too much garlic, it decreases your attentiveness. And when you're reading Vedas, you need a lot of attention. In Germany, pilots are not allowed to fly the plane after at least 3 hours of eating onion garlic. Even now, they're not, because it makes spontaneous decisions. Not drowsiness, the consciousness is not alert. It's not alert. You get bad order, and there are a lot of things related to onion garlic. And there is spiritual reasons also.
Heard that garlic has good for heart and protein.
There is Ayurvedic properties of onion and garlic, no doubt about it. Then it is used in certain Ayurvedic mixtures also. But there are alternatives also. In tamasic, people also take onion and garlic. This is the thing. Yeah. It affects your consciousness. If you eat onion and garlic, your tendency to make choices in mode of passion and ignorance will increase. Your consciousness will be like, want to make more choice on those lines. Very subtle.
Like uttering things will be spoiled with more onion.
They also say that.
Yeah,
They also say that. Yeah.
But I want to know what else.
Yeah, many reasons are there. Many reasons are there. Many reasons are there. Yeah. And it's so pungent. Okay, let me ask you a question. I'm sure you would have had some colleague who smokes, right? Right after he smokes or she smokes, and you're sitting beside them, do you get a thick smell anytime? You have experienced that?
Yes.
Anybody here?
Yes.
Thick, like really thick, you can't sit there. So much smell comes. What if I tell you, today I feel the same when somebody eats onion and garlic? You wouldn't believe, Prabhuji, after I stopped eating, I used to order fresh onion, just no cut. That was me, right? Asking for it. But after I stopped, now if somebody cooks onion also in the beside house, I get vomiting. It is so pungent. We don't know. Like the smoker doesn't know how pungent smell is carrying, wherever he's going. The same way people who eat onion and garlic, including me, I used to eat. Now I know how much thick smell it has. Like if you eat a curry without onion and garlic, you will actually feel the vegetables. You're eating tomato, tongue can feel the tomato. You can eating brinjal, you can feel it. But when you put onion on it, it predominates the taste of all the vegetables, and it just brings that thickness, that smell. And you actually don't feel. But if you stop eating for some time, then you yourself will tell, oh, the vegetables are tasting very different for me. Actually, onion and garlic is only used for meat. It is not used for vegetables. No need. Meat you cannot cook without onion and garlic. Nobody on the planet can cook meat without onion and garlic. You cannot serve meat without onion and garlic because meat is dead substance. You can't eat raw like that. You have to have so much masala on it that the taste of meat goes away. The masala predominates it, and then you can eat. So onion and garlic is used for that. And there are many other spiritual stories from Puranas. How onion and garlic is is not actually vegetarian in a way. But we'll not get into that level. See, on leaving these things is not important right now, you know. It's okay, we are eating onion and garlic, no problem. Go ahead. Most importantly is chant Hare Krishna mantra, which is Yuga Dharma, and we should get good education of Vedas and how we should implement in life. Slowly, we will automatically, you know, make our choices like that. Yeah. How do you find the prasadam here that we serve? It doesn't have onion and garlic. It doesn't have onion and garlic. Never it has onion and garlic. It doesn't make a difference also actually. Yeah. My wife makes dum biryani without onion and garlic. She makes pizzas without onion and garlic. You know, burgers. You go to ISKCON temple. How many you gone to ISKCON temple? Yeah, you should go to what is that? Greater Kailash. There is ISKCON temple in Delhi. Right? Juhu. You go to Juhu ISKCON temple. There are 56 items menu every day. And none of them are in garlic. And people like feast on it, right? And when we go to, by the way, we'll end with this. When we have Govardhan Puja during Kartik month, right? We should see this to believe it. Right? When we go on Yatra during Kartik month, when we go to Giriraj Govardhan, then we make feast for Govardhan. Everybody makes something. Last year, we made 1700 items without onion and garlic, right? So everything is offered. So is there a choice without onion and garlic? Of course, there's so much. Actually, in northern parts of India, Rajasthan, Gujarat, Uttar Pradesh, they don't eat onion and garlic. Now they're starting to put onion and garlic. Even in South India, Brahmins and all, they don't eat onion and garlic. Even my mother never used to eat onion and garlic for a certain time. Then it became like very, very relevant and part of everything. Otherwise, onion and garlic is not like a staple food. It became now. It became like, because that increases ignorance. You have a question?
Well, thank you for amazing session, Prabhu. So I just had one question.
Yeah.
At work, we have to, sit with people who are having meal, like during lunch. How to deal with such situations? I mean, it's hard to, avoid it, and you have to sit with them. It's I don't know, like I can't.
See, I'll put it like this: they're eating meat. That doesn't mean they're bad. They're good people. Just that they are making that kind of choice right now, right? And those choices can change anytime. Person becoming vegetarian is not a big deal. You know, anybody can become vegetarian anytime. And just because you're sitting with a vegetarian doesn't mean he's a good person also. Yeah. So irrespective of whether what food he's eating, we should respect whoever we are sitting with. But yes, sometimes when you become very God conscious, it's difficult to see meat. Because you can imagine that is somebody's body cut apart. But you should close your eyes and just pray to Krishna that Krishna, please save this person and please give me the consciousness that I always respect everybody, right? Without any judging, right? I'll tell you one example. There used to be one person who used to come to satsang. He used to smoke. He was a chain smoker, right? So, but he was very eager to learn this knowledge, for some reason. So he used to come and sit in the front like this Prabhuji, he used to come and sit in the front. And he used to hear, and every half an hour, he used to get up and go. And then he used to come all the way back and sit in the front. Right? And I used to get that pungent smell also, I used to get, he's smoking. I know that. So I never told anything. I said, he's coming, he's just coming. If you come to hospital, you get cured, right? You can't tell patient to stay outside. So he's coming, he's listening. And then one day he himself told Prabhuji, mujhe theek nahi lag raha hai. Okay, since you have told, you can maybe sit in the back. Right? You see, you're so addicted to smoking, you sit in the back. Whenever you want to smoke, you go and come. It doesn't disturb anybody. Otherwise, you want to be attentive, you come all the way till here, and then it's disturbing others also. Then he felt, then one day he came and told me, Prabhuji, on the satsang day I will not smoke. I made a resolution. I said, very good. So you don't have to go do back and forth. You can sit wherever you want to sit. Satsang day. One day I told Prabhuji, 1 week in a month I will not smoke. One day I told, once in a month I will smoke. One day he left smoking. He is a devotee. He is initiated also today. So, is it bad? Habits can change. Right? People change. Nobody is, just because of habit, we can't judge somebody is bad or good. Right? We should see their innermost desire. If they're coming to learn and they're willing to sit with you, right? That means they want to take your association. They like you. You're having lunch with them because they like you or you like them. Let that likeness be there. right? And through your association, one day they will change. But never suggest anybody unless they ask for it. Never, right? And you can give good knowledge. You can tell, that, or you know what, you should make very nice paneer butter masala or nice paneer samosa or something like that, and give him when he's eating. Offer it to Krishna, and when he's eating whatever he's eating, you say, you also eat this. One day he'll like your food so much that he'll tell you, I don't want this. You only bring every day, and the people will change. So there is always, there is a Vishya Vinivartante Nirarasya Dehina Rasavarjam Rasopyasya Param Drishtva Nivartate. Krishna says this. Answering to your question, Param Drishtva Nivartate. A better choice removes bad choices. You can't remove the choice itself. If somebody is smoking, you can't tell remove the cigarette and say, now you don't smoke. What should I do now? Give a rasgulla. To replace a bad thing, you need a good thing. You can't just remove the bad thing and tell you to stop. No, that's wrong. Never going to work. So Krishna says, even though you stop bad things, the taste still remains. So for the taste to remove, you should stop it and replace it with better choices. Yeah. If you want to have a good time, come to satsang. This is a good choice. This will automatically replace the bad choices that you do on a Sunday morning, right? We just can keep going on. We'll stop it now. And, sorry, it's more late. We'll just sing Narshing Arti, and Lord Narsingadev will bless us with will bless us with the energy and intelligence that will make right choices in life. Okay? Namaste Narasimhaya. Namaste Narasimhaya. Prahlad Lagadaine. Hiranyakashi Purvakshaha. Tilakankanakalaye. Ito Narasimha Parato Narasimha. Yato yato yami tato Narasimha. Vahir Narasimha Hridaye Narasimha. Narasimha Madhum Sharanam Prapate. Sabakara Kamala Bhare Nakam Adhuta Shringa Darita Hiranyakashipu Tanu Bhringa Keshavadhuta Narahari Rupa Jai Jagadish Hare Jai Jagadish Hare Jai Jagadish Hare Bhagavata Kamala Hare Adhuta Shringa Dalita Hiranyakashipu Tanu Bhringa Keshavadhuta Narahari Rupa Jai Jagadish Hare Jai Jagadish Hare Jai Jagadish Hare Jayo Narasimha Dev Narasimha Dev Narasimha Dev Jaya Narasimha Dev Jaya Prahlad Maharaj Prahlad Maharaj Prahlad Maharaj Jaya Prahlad Maharaj Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jai Jai Prabhupada. Jaya Jaya Gurudev, 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 Jai Jai Gurudev. Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Nitai Gaura Hari Bol. Bhakti Vignash Narsingadev Bhagwan ki, Bhakta Shiromani Prahlad Maharaj ki, all assembled devotees ki, Nitai Gaur Premanande. Hare Krishna. Once again, thank you all for coming. On the altar there you see, when you all can take darshan, it is Shri Radha Gopi Vallabh, and they are named as Radha Gopi Vallabh, that the one who is completely in love with Srimati Radharani, that is Radha Krishna. And on the right side you see Jagannath Baladev Sodramai. They are same Krishna who is in separation with Srimati Radharani, and they are worshipped in Jagannath Puri. And on the left side you see Shri Gaur Nitai. Gaur Nitai are none other than Lord Krishna and Balaram, in the mood to propagate the holy names that we are chanting today. They appeared in Mayapur 500 years ago, and because of them, the whole movement of Hare Krishna, Krishna consciousness has started. And on the leftmost to the wall, you see the deity of Srila Prabhupada, who is an Acharya, led to this wall on the left side. Yeah, and through his mercy, we are getting all this. And on the second step, you see Lakshmi Narasimha Swami and Prahlad Maharaj, small deity on the left side, right? And there is a cow in between. We all worship cows because that pleases Krishna. And there is Panchatattva on the right. And the final lower step is all the gurus in our Sampradaya, our Brahma Madhva Guru Parapara Sampradaya, the 6 Goswamis of Vrindavan, and the other Acharyas, 5 immediate Acharyas, Srila Prabhupada's gurus, right? And up here on the wall is one of the disciples of Srila Prabhupada, and there are many disciples like that who give Diksha. His holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj, and there are many other sannyasis within a movement in different parts of India. They also give Diksha. So Hare Krishna, thank you all for coming. Very, very grateful. Now I humbly request everyone to just sit in a line like this. Here also in a line like this. We will bring the prasadam and serve, and one line in between. Just sit in any direction, one line in between, 2 lines to the sides. Just be there and we'll bring prasadam. Hare Krishna.